Wilson type, you think?
Might be. Don't know. Well, previously, we talked about it, I reckon, in last year's Showdown Campo. It was Willem Drew waited for him and Dawson went forward, and it really threw out Port's structure early because they were expecting to start him inside. So
that's a big call.
That could be one. He generally plays the third tall in defence. So
he's going to leave that to Burton.
Yeah, well, because maybe Burton comes back and then that frees him up to play a bigger wing.
Well, Burton could end up on a Fogarty or a Walker, and if one of them do, that's fill up boots time.
Well, that's if he's kicked in as a contest.
Okay. Well, Bergman was the one that we had pitched for that. So that's massive, Timmy. Bergman in the midfield.
Absolutely. So
well, you like him there.
Different. I do. Oh, geez. I love him
You've been calling everywhere.
Quite frankly,
yeah, actually,
he's a great player.
Call.
Hey, well, I'll just go around the grounds for you at the moment up at TO Stadium, and the Gold Coast Suns taking on the Bulldogs up there in Darwin. That is a 9-point lead to the Suns at the moment, and there's only a couple of minutes left in the first quarter there. We saw the Thursday night game between the Dockers and Collingwood. Collingwood winning by 14 points. St Kilda Carlton hanging on to win by 15 points. Hawthorn Melbourne today, Hawks pulled away by 35 points. And Essendon held on to win against the fast finishing Sydney by 8 points. So that leads us into the next game, which will be Port v Adelaide. And let's get a little perspective down at ground level. Sam Daddo on the boundary.
Timmy, thank you. It's definitely a cool one down here tonight. Currently 13.5. We reached the top of 24. Overnight, a low of 11. You were speaking earlier in the pre-game. Not a breath of wind down here. No cloud cover. And there's already starting to be a bit of a glistening effect on the grass. So Stewie Dew might make an appearance. Port Adelaide starting sub, Christian Moraes. For Adelaide, it's Sam Berry as the boys are warming up as we speak. 5 minutes to go till game time. But as I said, could be a bit of a slippery game down here.
Critters, how do Port win, and where do they win and why?
Well, I think it always comes down to midfield dominance, and if Port can put away Adelaide's midfield and they can play front half football, you give yourself a chance to score. But if you look at, it's not going to be easy because you look at Adelaide's form recently, they're batting pretty deep, they're pretty settled behind the footy. We know that when their forwards are getting decent supply, then they're difficult to stop. So for me, if I'm Ken Hinkley, I'm putting the onus on the midfield, who really, let's be honest, went missing last week, needed to perform better. They're up against a quality opposition, but they didn't fight it out. So for me, the message is fight it out for 4 quarters, give yourself a chance.
Well, I think the big number for Port Adelaide is, can they get more than 8.5 marks inside 50 to have a shot at goal? Because that's the average the Crows allow in 8 games of footy. They're number 1 in that.
Which is quite amazing. Port have been able to find targets inside 50 this year.
It is, but I think if you said to me they're number 1 for not allowing opposition to mark inside 50, so that's the system in front of the ball.
Oh, you're not
the pressure when that's exactly right.
Not kicking a lot with 8 marks.
No, that's exactly right. So I reckon that's your magic number. Can you generate enough good footy inside 50?
When we have won this year, we've got over 14.
Exactly right.
So, and been very good with it.
So we'll keep an eye on that for RAA Insurance.
It's going to be a good one.
Crows, Campo?
Yeah, well, if you have a look at what they've been able to do across the board, you know, they win clearance, contested possession in their pressure game. That's what they do. They bring that for majority and consistently throughout the games. They give that forwards the opportunity with 55 entries. That's what they're averaging, which is 6 in the comp. You know, they win. And I think if they do that, they expose Port's defenders tonight. I think if they can change their angle and ask Port a question on defence, I don't think they can defend the turnover game that Adelaide have got, Port. So I'd be staggered if Adelaide don't try and go a little bit quicker just to see whether they can catch Port out. I think if Port play one-on-one, though, that might ask them a question, which is what they were able to do it against Hawthorn Treaders. We said before you came on that for me is the blueprint, I think, if they're going to play Adelaide well tonight. And I'd love to see Adelaide press their Port's handball game. I think they've gone a little bit away from it from what they've done earlier in the season. But if they press that and they turn it over, good luck. I think they're going to score well over 100 points tonight if Adelaide get that part of their game right.
Yeah, it's a fine line, isn't it, over handball. It cost us big time at the start of the season. And the Hawthorn mix, it probably was that right mix because they own the footy and own the territory. Yeah. The big issue, too, is if you're in a position at 3/4 time, there's no doubt Matty Nix is going to be winding up. Port have not won a last quarter this year.
I find that amazing.
Yeah.
Not one.
No, we've called every game, Timmy, and we've seen it.
But do you find that amazing, that stat?
It's
because it can't be fitness.
No. Like we said earlier in the game, it looks like Jordan Dawson won the toss and kicked to the Cathedral end. So Port will be kicking to the Riverbank stand end. There you go.
I do find
But I
that
find it
stat
staggering
amazing
as well. The thing about it, you're right about the fitness. We spoke about it and said every club is measured within an inch of their life as far as their numbers go, their fitness level. Blah, blah, blah. So it can't be that big a difference. It's just, I reckon if they fatigue mentally maybe, and their skill level drops, that's probably what happens in the last terms. I can't think of anything else other than...
It's a little bit around momentum as well.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
like
Confidence.
Momentum makes you look tired, you know, when you play.
When they've got it.
When they've got it, you think, geez, I'm chasing here as well. So, and that's why Port's start. So if we talk about that end, let's talk about the other end. Port and Crows are 1 and 2 in terms of the best first quarter teams in the comp. So this sets up to be...
We'll at least get a good start.
Well, we hope so. Whoever jumps first, Treaders, might be the one who wins at the end of the day.
Well, I'm opening the window because I don't get the privilege of doing this very often, and it is a special moment.
Why are you putting your...
From anyone.
Why are you pulling your scarf
before a
up?
game?
Well, I don't have a scarf, but this is a special moment, and for Crows people, we're envious of it. And it is quite unbelievable. It is spine tingling. There's no question about it. We do nothing. Oh, we have a violinist, don't we? Oh, no, hang on, a saxophonist.
Well, let's not worry about that. The Bergman's in the first centre bounce.
Well, I called it, Timmy.
You did.
Okay, 5AA footy. It is thanks to the FIVEAA Milk Company. Here is Timmy G for Showdown 57. And let's hope it's a ripper.
Well, let's see if Port Adelaide can put up a fight. They've got it before them, and Adelaide Crows form side of it in recent weeks have been very good. Bergman's going to Dawson. Rolly O'Brien, Visentini, nobody won that. Just fell out. Peatling missed the handball. He goes back to get it, gets tackled high. That is a free kick every day. That is Richards giving that away, Joe Richards. And Port Adelaide are bottom for freeze differential, and that's probably why. Things like that. Miller with the ball, centre wing out of side. Oh, it's not a great kick. Down low. Neil Bullen did well. Byrne-Jones allowed Led to get out of the tackle. Kicks it forward. Trapped well by Fogg. Goes out really wide. Keys. Fumble mistake in the forward pocket. Exactly. Look at the football. Players just lifting up too early. Comes out the back. I reckon it's going to be a high kick around. Nearly a mark. Was that play out of bounds? Going to be out of bounds. Left forward pocket for the Adelaide Crows. There'll be a throw in there.
What about this for a matchup? Michael Annie and Jason Horn-Francis. What about that for a one-on-one matchup?
Well, because Bergman started in there.
Wow.
Horn-Francis started forward. So Bergman on Dawson's the big one. Okay, Taylor Walker wins it. Tackles his opponent. Gee, a few changes, isn't there?
Yeah,
for both teams.
Well, Port are really defensive. I mean, Drew to Rankin. So what automatically now it's Butters is the only one that's actually hunting the footy for Port. So that's going to be an interesting one.
Radigalia to Mead. Mead on his left shoe. Hacks the ball out. Nankervis sits under it. Takes a timely mark on the left-hand half-forward flank. Probably too far out. Matchups are plenty.
Rozee at half-back as well.
Yeah, Rosie's been half-back. Michael Lenny on Horn-Francis I can't wait to see the first one-on-one of that. So Nankervis will kick it from about 52 metres. No breeze to speak of. Going towards the Cathedral. Lenny was sub last week. He'd won a big one.
Oh, dear.
He runs out, hooks it, and it's gone through for a point, the first score of the day. The Gears go up. Adelaide 1 point. Port Adelaide yet to score, and that's on the Budget Car and Truck Rental scoreboard.
FIVEAA football, thanks to the FIVEAA Milk Company. It'll be Farrell to bring the ball back in for Port Adelaide. He finds Lockie Jones just leading up at him. Inside defensive 50.
You got your one-on-one, Campo.
Yep.
So who ended up on Tex?
Jones comes inboard. Nice kick. Just at the top of the 50 is Drew. Drew goes over the top, finds Farrell. Farrell stops, props, wants to play on. And it comes members' side. The kick was poor. Mead had to compete. O'Brien at ground level. I reckon he got high. Mead got just high on Riley O'Brien and half-back flank. He will take that free kick. And we see Budget Car Truck Rental scoreboard. Just a point at the moment to the Adelaide Crows.
Oh, no, I've just noticed number 22 is an umpire, the Quiff, for the first time of the year for the Crows. Peatling now gives the ball up to Worrell. Career best form on his left leg. That is a beautiful spot-up kick to Fogarty. Radigalia standing on him. Keys has a lead. Pulls the kick now into the forward line. on the lead. Phil Thorp! Oh, goodness me!
Well, guess who's that's
Sid
on?
was on him, and I reckon...
Nah, it's Lockie Jones.
It was a
So it's Lear's gone to Tex,
Yeah.
and it's Lockie Jones who Darcy Fogarty absolute towed up in the first quarter in the last showdown, or the first one last year. So that's an interesting matchup to go back to the well with that.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
Well,
what
Lear
they
must
did
have
do
got
off
lost.
the ball was change, because it was Lockie Jones who kicked it in. So he was on Tex, and then they swapped. So they want him to play higher. But Phil Thorpe's the only one that went for the footy.
And when he's 200 and puts the jukes out, hard to defend.
From 50 metres,
Ooh,
gee,
that
that's an
stinks.
awful kick. It's a stinker across the face, fisting the ball through Vicentini, and that's the second point for Adelaide. So they go to 2 points, Port Adelaide yet to score. And what are we playing? About 6.5 minutes on the Zambero clock.
Kick comes up to the wing. Everybody jumps. Paul Francis left it behind. Powell-Pepper. He's going to play under 10s and handball it to himself. He's tapped it forward. Michael Laney now. He's got some pressure on him. Got the handball to Rob. He did a right, O'Reilly. Worrell. Mead.
Oh,
takes
Mead
a mark in
outmarking.
front of Phil Thorpe. That's pretty good. You've got to pay that one as a McGain real estate mark of the day. Vicentini switches right out to half-back where Lear is. Lear just waits for Burgoyne to come up at him in the wing. So Port, you would say a cautious start with both their matchups and with the use of the ball. Burgoyne kicks the long ball to a 2-on-1. It was pretty disgraceful. I don't know. Why would you kick to that contest? 2-on-1.
I don't think he saw him, Tim, to be honest, because Riley was still sort of coming from that open side of the ground.
All right. Benefit of the doubt given by Scott Camporelli for pure tap. I like that.
Oh, chain of handballs on the outer side.
Phil
Gives it off
Thorpe's
the
out.
keys. Phil Thorpe is out. Here goes Foggy at inside 50. Phil Thorpe in the pocket takes him up.
Well
done by Lockie Jones.
was
Slapped it
excellent.
out of his hands. That was outstanding, Treaders.
Well, that's what I was going to talk on that matchup. As a key forward, you used to have to start thinking, hang on, if I'm on a smaller guy who's got that closing speed, and that's what Jones is going to get. So Phil Thorpe's going to get super excited if the ball's high and long. But if it's going to be a running game, he's going to have some concerns about his closing speed, which helped out then.
Vicentini gets the ball down. Rankin couldn't quite get there. Burgoyne was great to Jones. Kicks it quickly. A hacking kick into the middle of the ground. Here comes, I reckon, Worrell for his fourth touch for RA Insurance. Pirouettes, goes piercing with that left leg. Tries to find, Rochelli's taken a burler. A one-hander on the left-hand half-forward flank.
It's too good with his
And
body
again,
work.
real estate mark of the day. Was that on Sin?
It was on Sin, and it's one of the things I've spoken about.
You
Sin
have.
one-on-one.
One-on-one.
It's not his strength.
It's not his strength. I'm yet to see his strength.
Well, I tell you what, Nankervis had a shot here. Phil Thorpe had a shot here, and now Rochelli. So can it be third time lucky? So he's in the left-hand half-forward flank, going towards the cathedral end.
Jeez, it's an eerie crowd, isn't it?
It is eerie. It might get eerier. So here he comes, Josh Rochelli. Oh, that's a perfect kick. Oh, the minute he kicked it, and he's done the big double cobra. Don't point your teeth up.
Where's the teeth?
Do not point to your teeth. The first goal, 1 goal, 2-8 on the budget car and truck run. It's been all Adelaide.
Well, already, like, one-on-ones, that's probably the thing for me already. So for RA Insurance, 5-1 inside 50s. We spoke about the pre-game. If Adelaide around that 55 plus, it's just going to be a long night. And already one-on-one. So Thilthorpe's taken a mark inside forward 50. Rochelli's taken one. They just look vulnerable, particularly when there's a little bit of speed inside forward 50. But that's just a wonderful finish. You know, great one-on-one. That's what contested possession is. Exactly that. Doesn't always have to be ground ball like we highlighted on Tuesday, Timmy. It's a one-on-one contest that Sin just had to halve to bring it to ground. But Josh Rochelli, well done.
And smart Adelaide forward line. When you smell an opportunity to isolate guys who aren't great one-on-one defenders, that's exactly what they did.
5 inside 50s to 1. It was bound to come. Port Adelaide have to get hold of footy. Drew trying to do that now. He tried to soccer it, but Saligo went down and picked it up. Rolly O'Brien tapped it forward. Rozee grabbed hold of it, tried to get the ball to Burgoyne. Burgoyne did well.
Brilliant.
Nice little give to Farrell. Farrell now kicks a long ball towards half forward. Lord, that's a good mark. That's a real estate mark. McGain real estate mark of the night as he gets to his feet. He took a one-hand. It was lovely. He now just drops it in, looking for Finlayson. Pay that?
Arm
He
chop.
did. Oh, did he? Arm chop / mark. And
Georgiades, was it? Or?
Georgiades is getting the free kick, rightio. Because I thought actually it was a fairly good attempt by Finlayson.
Gee, two very good marks.
Yeah, Geez,
there wasn't much in that.
No. No, I thought there was more in the Finlayson one.
Exactly right, and I reckon the other bloke should have got it.
And it was always good when the players walk around.
Let's have a look here on the
That's
replay.
okay. The quiff's out there. 22, the quiff.
Oh,
Did he pay a hold?
I reckon he's got a hold on the left arm, holding him down.
Yeah.
All right, well done, quiff.
All right, well,
What's this quiff?
Number 22, look at his haircut, the umpire.
Mitch Georgiades, first shot on goal. It's an important kick, and he misses it. Now, he's got the yips lately. He's missing some big opportunities for himself and for Port Adelaide, and that's their first scorer point. Rozee 1-2-8, 7 points the difference. Budget card, truck rental scoreboard. And if you want to call them, get on to 13-27-27.
Well, gee, beautiful leg by Hinge to Keys. He takes a mark on that outer side half-back flank. He'll play on now on that left leg. Comes up onto the, well, curtain flew, but Radicalier was outstanding in the area. Had 2 bites of the cherry, not paid. Zach Butters with the first touch, gets around, gets a handball on out the back. Connor Rozee, he just has got the poise and the skill, and he finds Radicalier, who came up from fullback to centre halfback, who chips it over now to Drew. Drew's now got the ball, will chip the ball short, tries to find Sam Powell-Pepper. Peatling now goes, thank you very much, and he's got Thorp. Thorp's got a player breaking for him back towards his curtain, but he should go back and have a shot at goal. Let's go down to Sam Datto.
Port Adelaide's Joe Richards has spent some time in the hands of the trainers, had some taping done on his right calf. Looks good to go, but maybe one to watch for the rest of the game.
Okay, so Thorp's got another mark inside 50. We'll get those for RAA insurance stats.
Bro, it was an elite kick by Pete.
Wasn't it?
Because he could have, if he blazed away, there was a Port Adelaide line of defenders closer to goal, so he would have just kicked it straight the opposition, but he dropped it across himself to find Thorp.
They're playing this half-forward flank. Thorp does it again, goes just short to the boundary line. Big fist through the ball. Good work, Vicentini. And another point. So Adelaide go to 139. Port Adelaide 1 point. The margin's back out 8. Budget car and truck rental.
All right, so it's going to be Brian Burt to bring the ball back in this time. I think Port, they got to take those opportunities because they're probably not going to get as many. So you've got to make them count.
I'm all for being patient with the footy like they're doing.
They have.
But once you get the opportunity to open it up, you've got to go.
Probably been too cautious.
Well, it's certainly a change to what you've played up to round 8.
Yeah. So Ollie Wines with the footy started on the bench. This kick is not good.
Start trying to pull stuff out your backside where you should always swim between the flags, Rowie, as we say.
You got it.
Yep.
It's Nankervis spun around, got his kick away into the pocket. Thorp again.
Oh man, he's had 3 marks inside 50.
And all of them have been pretty much off transition, haven't they?
Yes.
Turnover.
Well, it's the wrong mode. Like against Adelaide, you've got to go quick. You've got to ask a question of this back 6. This kick mark game, having been in the coach's box, I've said it for the last couple of years with you guys, if you concentrate and don't give Port uncontested marks and you force them down the line, they'll turn it over eventually because they don't have the kickers to do it, and then you go back with interest.
And that kick too, even if you want to kick to a contest, he was trying to thread the needle.
Look at this big high kick. This one it'll come off. That's a magnificent snap. Thorp pretty happy with himself.
He's had 3 shots at goal.
Yeah.
He's kicked a goal.
This is alarm bells.
So 2 goals, 3-15. Port Adelaide a point. Budget cart, truck rental scoreboard, put it down as a Beechwood Homes goal a day.
Well, for RAA Insurance, it hasn't been a midfielder's game. The top possession getters, Darcy Fogarty 4, Riley Thorp 3, Ben Keys 3. And on the other end, Lockie Jones, Connor Rozee, Kane Farrell, all the guys at half-back. So you can tell by those numbers, fellas, that it lived inside Adelaide's forward 50. 7-2 inside 50s. The alarm bells already for Port Adelaide. Contested possession 15-8. Ground ball 10-6 in favour of Adelaide. And the handball received, which is where Adelaide get you on the outside, 10-5.
Okay, so Bergman on Dawson. How's that going? I'll ask you shortly, Treaders, for RAA insurance stat. That's the one-on-one. So Thorp now doing it. Vicentini taps it out right on cue. Bergman's got it. Wrapped up brilliantly by Dawson. There'll be a secondary stoppage.
1 RAA insurance disposal each.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It might be a 0-0 draw. Charging off his line was Nankervis. Got met heavily by Drew. And there'll be a ball up in the middle of the ground. Crows by 15.
And this is where your depth gets tested if you're going to go so defensive.
Oh, a free kick. The Cliff's given it to Finlayson.
Dawson's going 2-on-1 too, so that was freeing up the Adelaide midfielders.
Yeah, Finlayson out to Connor Rozee, and he's on this centre wing grandstand side.
He waits, draws a player, handballs over the top to Farrell. Farrell just wants to drop this into the pocket. It's all Crows. There's about 10 of them there. They dropped the mark. Should have talked. Bergman tried to get the handball out. It's turned over. It's awkward. And Curvis A little snap around kick. Rozee has to go up. He competes. He grabs the ball. He's tackled. He tried to do an underground handball. Didn't come off. Burton. He waits for Walker to pick it up and then tackles him. That was interesting.
I reckon Rosie's on Alex Neil-Bullen. That will be a mighty duel, that one.
Okay, that's TJM. Tough tackle. If you get off road, get into TJM at Nailsworth and Ranella.
Okay, one by Thorp. Ball to the ground. The big ball that is Horn Francis grabs it, gets tackled immediately by Alex Neil-Bullen. He's up to these stoppages, which drags up Connor Rozee as well. So at centre half forward, that's going to be a free kick against Finlayson because he's too big, Thorp. BOG for mind already. Oh, that's a windy of a handball. Meat came charging in. Sam Powell-Pepper should handball it. Did it? He should have just given it to Ollie Wines. Ollie Wines gets rock and roll. Now he handballs. And umpires come in. Oh, no, the quiff. He's just inserts himself. What was that for?
Well, that's all.
That is...
Of course it is.
That is unbelievable.
I don't think anyone in this whole 50,000 fans know what that was for.
So Ollie Wines does a beautiful kick. Thorp went to the goal square. Finlayson chipped in and he's marked the ball on the 50-metre line and will have a shot at goal. Riverbank stand in. He's a joke, that bloke.
That's bizarre.
What do we play? 12 minutes in the first quarter and I bagged him. I'm not going to mention his name for the rest of the game.
Well, you've said it 5 times.
Well, that's it.
Insurance stats.
Done. I'm not mentioning the quiff, the number 22. Is it quite cool? Finlayson.
Yes, it
need
is.
this one desperately.
There they do.
Just to settle
Finlayson,
themselves.
generally a really good kick at goal. Arches his back. Beautiful leg. He's put it straight through. I'm going to call that the settler. Beachwood Homes goal of the day. Thank you, 22. 1 goal 1 to 2 goals 3. Budget car and truck rental treaders.
Geez, it was ugly. It was ugly, and we're still trying to work out what the free kick was for. But
well, there was a hold the ball, plain as day.
yeah, I know. But then what was the next free kick for? Because that's what it was actually paid for. We haven't seen it on a replay screen either. But what was smart by Finlayson then is he just sagged on 40 metres because he knew that Phil Thorp was going to sweat off him. And he sweat off him, and it was just a nice little square-up kick. And I tell you what, it was timely for Port Adelaide.
It was an off-the-ground ball off Sam Powell-Pepper where he got tackled. He was the one that picked up the ground ball, and Jordan Dawson got him high as he drove through at ground level. So they paid the second one instead of the first one.
Yeah,
they always do that.
We're right back in the middle. It's going to be Riley O'Brien and Finlayson, so that's an interesting matchup in itself. O'Brien taps it down, but taken by Butters. Butters gave it off to Bergman. He accelerates out. A long kick into the forward line, trying to hold his ground with Georgiades, and it's going to be a free.
Against Murray, leans over his shoulder. Looks like it was there. A lot of players remonstrating with your mate, Rowie, the umpire.
Butts. I was going to say, can't be Murray. He's out.
If there's 40 free kicks today, say it's 20 each, that rooster there would have given 35 of them.
Yeah, we're looking on the replay.
He's over his shoulder.
Yeah, it's over his shoulder. That's a free kick.
It's the first time Port's played positive ball.
But that's the challenge, isn't it? I mean, both teams like centre bounce. Adelaide were much better last week. They've been poor for majority year, but that's what happens, Treaders, as you know. Defenders panic with this new rule when it comes in with that sort of speed.
Well, Georgiades.
And that just begs why you don't mess around with it.
It's an important kick for Mitch, I think, for his confidence. He's nailed it.
Good boy.
Mitch Georgiades kicks his first. And Port Adelaide get back into the contest. They'll go to 2-1-13, playing the Crows 2-3-15, a 2-point ball game. Budget car truck rental scoreboard, and this is FIVEAA football. Well, thanks to the FIVEAA milk.
Yeah, for FIVEAA Insurance, the clearance game, that's where Port are on top, 5-2, and they've won 2 out of the centre bounce. So that's been a improvement area for them from last week because they had their colours lowered literally last week against the Bulldogs. But that's what it does. It gives you forward half game, which is what you spoke about, Treaders, which is what most teams want to play now. They don't want to try and score out of their back half because it's just too hard defensively. So it's a matter of who can get some ascendancy through here, and Port have won the last couple out there, and they've kicked 2 goals out of that.
And Zach Butters has only had the 2 touches, but that was his first influential clearance from stoppage. He was on the move and at speed, elite. And that's what he can bring.
That was absolutely elite. The kid's a star. 2 points the margin. Here we go. Back in the middle. Vicentini. Riley O'Brien on the ground there. Dawson had to hack that out. Burgoyne, Cummings, crumbs out the back. There's going to be another free kick for Old.
Just let that go. It's just a one-on-one battle.
Oh, well, that's what we come to expect. Centering grandstand side. Burgoyne was really strong on Cummings then. Chips the ball short. Zach Butters has got it. Peating was just got off his man a little bit. That is a beautiful kick to Bergman. God, he's a player, Bergman. Doesn't matter where you play him, he just gives 100%. Big move to put him in the midfield. He's been very influential. Get that for RAA Insurance shortly. Up they go, down they go. Lord couldn't quite get it. Vicentini was the same. McEntee's there. Great tackle there on Butts, and there'll be a ball up 20 metres out from Port Adelaide's goal.
Jeez, lucky Keane could have probably given a free kick away there. He just kept going with the tackle, and Vicentini didn't have the ball.
Isaac on the outside of his boot. Falk was waiting to see who was going to go, but he thought, oh, nobody here. I might as well go myself. He takes the mark. He's at half back, though.
This is good by Port, though. Just force. This is what they need to do. Now just squeeze up now so they can't allow this next one, and then force them skinny, because then you've got Aaliyah in an intercepting position.
That is Scott Campriali for Puritap special comments.
Perfect.
Peatling goes down the line. Aaliyah in front, takes a diving mark. That was excellent work on Walker, and then
That's
Walker.
got to be 50.
It is.
That was just stupid, that
I
text.
don't know why he did it.
I mean, wow, he's playing game.
No,
clearly,
I think he thought that the ball hit the ground rather than the mark.
He's held it up. It was a good
How
mark.
strong's Aaliyah to push Walker aside like
But
that?
that's his go. He loves the intercept mark. That's if you're going to kick that long dump kick, and that's where Tex is going to be careful not to have that happen to him.
So Radicalea just puts a high ball up. Vicentini in front makes a contest. Front centre was Horn Francis, but onto him, Peatling. Peatling wraps him up in a TJM tough tackle and gets a ball up in front of the Port goal, about 35 metres out.
Yeah, 90-minute mark. Zambero clock, 2-point margin. Adelaide's way. Inside 50 for Port Adelaide. Horn Francis again got tackled. Umpire says let's ball it up. See a lot of this.
He just forces you to tackle properly, doesn't he? Because he just draws
Goes
a free
at pace.
kick with you.
Oh, he's just elite. Richards tried to get it out. Great work there by Taylor to Peatling. Zach Butters dived in. Almost got a free kick. Riley O'Brien picked it up. Got the handball out. Miller, Taylor handballed over his head. Gee, that's a winnie by Darcy Byrne-Jones. McEntee's now got it. Tackled by Peatling. Still at centre half forward.
Well
massive tackle there by Hinge. Ball gets out to Butts. Oh, he actually got it. Butts handballed onto the outer side. Curtin should be able to spot his opponent up, and he does. Met heavily there by Burton. I reckon that's Keys. Takes a mark on that outer side half-back flank. Gee, they made them work for that.
And Joe Richards is making him work for it. He's trying to get some oxygen into his lungs.
Well,
he got cleaned up.
If you can, Hinkley, Port have settled now. Like, if I'm sitting in the coach's box now, I'm going, we've actually just settled into this game. We're winning some contests. We're able to just stem the flow. We're playing it on our terms.
Aaliyah.
What's the free kick count?
Aaliyah gets that free kick. Looked like it was for holding. He gives off. Running Rozee. Rozee now.
6-3 in favour of
Oh,
Port.
that's a poor kick by Rozee. Straight down the throat of Riley O'Brien, and he takes the market up back. Now, Riley goes to switch. Does okay. Finds Butts in the back pocket. Butts goes back and goes short back to Riley O'Brien. Same play. Riley this time chooses to go up the wing to a one-on-one contest. And it was Curtin and Mead, and they did well. It was a good battle. Touched off the boot. It's going to be Walker. Walker with a rare touch. Kicks it long and finds Falk. It was just a wobbler off the boot.
Just too far off.
And
I looked
Fogarty
ahead of the ball,
free.
Timmy.
Yeah.
They're just too far off. When the ball's within a kicking distance, you've got to have your arm in the back of their...
Yes. I'm with you.
What's Sin doing on Fogarty anyway?
No, they were both standing there. Well, he just got caught in a rotation. So it was him and Ollie Wines. Not one of them went to him.
Is that the 5th mark inside 50 for RAA Insurance stats?
Fogarty, he will be 40 metres out. He's normally a beautiful kick. Gets onto this. Pushed it across the face, I reckon.
Yep.
Or out in the
He
forward.
hit the behind post, so that's rare.
5-1, Rowie.
So 2-3 plays 2-1. Budget car truck rental
Oh,
scoreboard.
there's a 50-metre penalty, Timmy.
It's the Crows by 2 points.
Fogarty's going to have a shot at goal with no one on the line. I don't know.
There's some off-ball stuff going
I
on.
reckon it's Zach Butters who's giving it away. Because all the Crows blokes are running into him, all the Port blokes are going pull your head in.
Oh,
Well,
is
that's
ridiculous. That is a walk-up goal for Fogarty, who kicked it out of bounds on the full, and he gets gifted one from no metres out. Ridiculous stuff.
We'll wait and see what the replay is, but I think it was on Peatling. He's actually going to him as a more of a defensive type mid.
Yeah, undisciplined.
But we're trying to...
You're better than that, Zach. Well, I think he is, Timmy.
It gives away, well, he's the most fine player in AFL, so I'm not sure that he is. That's undisciplined.
Well, it's disappointing because, as I said, if you're in Port's coach's box, you go, we've just wrestled a little bit of momentum back. So we're just looking on the replay here, just on the bottom of the screen, and it's on Isaac Rankin, and he just threw his leg out.
Oh, that is just silly.
And just tried to trip him as he took off.
Not necessary.
Oh, well, 8 points the margin. That's the game we got now.
It does beg into the over-umpiring.
Of course it does. Oh, gee,
so
Saligo charged through. Horne-Francis equally as good. Rozee was outstanding. Burton's there. Here comes Bergman. Ball jars out. Good handball by, I reckon that was Rankin to Curtin. Curtin does a left foot kick to the edge of the square. Fogarty's in the van. Fogarty's almost got the mark. Almost gets the crumb. And it's been slapped through by Burton for a point. Oh, they're so dangerous aerially, the Crows. So dangerous. They lead by 9.
Sin did really well there. Got smashed on that ground ball to keep it alive.
Rosie's kick's poor. Doesn't hit the target. Makes Port Adelaide work overtime. Georgiades trying hard at ground level. Peatling again. He's tackling hard. Jones got it out somehow. And they find a short pass into Joe Richards. Joe Richards at half back.
This is where if I'm a forward, there's a channel to lead in. Lead. Give him something to kick to.
Got 3 minutes left on the Zambrero clock, and Port Adelaide trail by 9 points currently. A 50-metre penalty.
Oh, God, they're over.
I was just about to say, over-officiating or what?
Like the Rankin kick, you don't do it if you're Butters, but he hardly fell over. Like,
yeah, I know.
And the ridiculous free kick where Port get their first goal from, that changed the momentum of the match.
Wide it goes. Inside. Back to Burton. Burton looks for something in the pocket. Who went up? I think it was Horne-Francis. Got belted. Georgiades got it down into Drew. Drew on his left, snaps a goal and misses everything. Out of bounds on the full.
Well, Horne-Francis and Darcy Byrne-Jones, they both went for the ball.
Yeah.
That was the one. I don't think the kick was actually for Darcy Byrne-Jones, but Horne-Francis just came across.
Would have been good if you marked it.
Pure Tap special comments, Treaders and Campo. Margin 9 Adelaide's way, closing in on quarter time. Another big fly by Aaliyah. His aerial work is outstanding.
But we've seen it multiple times, Aaliyah, Mark, and then down the other end of the ground, O'Brien. Like, clearly you know if you sag off your man, you cannot kick it in their direction.
No, again, real estate mark of the day.
Well, they've got to find a short one.
Well,
like
there's
this,
the short
like
one.
this, and then now you can go because you can bypass him.
Okay, so Drew got the short one. He's still 70 out from goal. Riverbank stand in, the end Port's going. Every player forward to centre. Trail by 9 points. So he pops it up in the air. The big men will need to fly. Oh, Ollie Lord was the big man that flew. Keane got the crumb. Hacked the ball out. Well done by Fogarty. Got a fist on it. It's going to go out of bounds. He's that exit man. He's strong in the air. And it's out of bounds between wing and half forward on the outer side. 2-1 Port. Adelaide 3-4-22 Treaders.
And you called it perfectly, Rowie, because as a forward, you don't want to be as a key forward at half back, but when you have to get that fist in, otherwise it comes back in for a repeated entry and players are out of position. So well played, Fogarty.
Thrown in. It's Bergman doing the work. He gets it to Horne-Francis. He can't get out of those tackles. So it'll be another ball up, outer side wing. Goes by 9 points. First term. Nearly over. Drew got a little one out to Rozee. Rozee can get a high ball. It's floating in the air. Miller in front. He punches it away. Richards, good quick give. Gave it to Butters. Butters just turns around. He finds Byrne-Jones.
Well, that is superb.
He's hiding in the pocket. Got pushed over.
And
it's 50.
That's really silly by Laird because the umpires, we all can see it. Everyone in this whole stadium, 50,000 people can see the umpires are blowing the whistle. They're whistle happy.
Yes.
You don't have to even run into him.
It was late and silly.
It is as soft as butter.
Yeah.
It should not be a free kick, but they've paid her out 4 or 5 already.
Darcy Byrne-Jones gets his first, and we've seen a couple of silly, undisciplined acts by both teams, resulting in a 50-metre penalty and goal. So Port Adelaide, they go to 3-1-19, trail Adelaide 3-4-22. It's only 3 points, and it's on the budget car truck rental scoreboard.
Well, there's no stat on here on Champion Data for our insurance for stupidity, but it's 1-1 because Zach Butters for one, and then Rory Laird on the flip side. But Port have been able to just sort of wrestle some momentum now, so they've sort of even up around the contest. Their ground ball's pretty similar. What they are doing is still those uncontested marks. Matty Nicks will be trying to tighten that up because they're sort of owning the ball, but they've had 7 shots, Adelaide, from turnover, so that would still be something that Ken would be worried about in the coach's box, but 10-9 inside 50s in favour of Port, so pretty even at the moment.
5-8 footy thanks to FIVEAA Milk Company in the middle. Vicentini wins it brilliantly. Riley O'Brien fumbled it. Dawson's been a little quiet. Got the handle to Peatling now to Riley O'Brien. Has a kick inside 50. Rankin hardly called him. Good work there by Jones. Coming brilliantly from Sin, but he fell over, but recovered brilliantly. Got it back out to Connor Rozee, who handled out to no one. Sin got tackled again. Got it out. Gee, that was terrific footy. Drew kicked it straight up and down. Miller needs to get under it. He's taken it really good. McGain Real Estate mark of the day. His body work on Darcy Byrne-Jones was elite. There's a minute of play left. Crows lead by 3. Another inside 50. Get all the stats for RAA Insurance. Phil Thorp went up, down, Keys, goal. No, he's kicked it out of bounds. He was miles away. Sorry, Timmy. I was writing cheques I couldn't cash, and I pumped him up when he didn't need to be pumped up. And Phil Thorp again looming large.
Yeah. Better defensive work from Port, though. You talk bumper barring tempo, and that's exactly what they did then on the slow play.
44 seconds left on the Zambrero clock, the feel-good Mexican. Big fella just took it out of ruck. Vicentini gave it off to Rozee, gave it to Burgoyne. He kicks the ball wide. I think Riley O'Brien was there, but well done, Mitch Georgiades. Got over the back and just sport that out of bounds. So it'll be a throw-in left, half forward. Members side. Pro's been kicking to the scoreboard end or the cathedral end, and Port at the Riverbank stand end, and a 3-point margin stands between them. This is 5AA football thanks to the FIVEAA Milk Company.
Yeah, Boundary throw-in. Riley O'Brien, Vicentini. Riley O'Brien, double-hander. Bergman, geez, good. Burgoyne couldn't get it. Hinge got it. Socket off the ground. Socket off again by Nankervis. Saligo outstanding. Handball terribly forward. Sin got it back to Burgoyne. Gee, it's game on now. He goes long with his right leg to the half-forward flank. Oh, Worrell went up, and that's been tunnelled. He's pointing the other way. Which way is he pointing?
No, he made a mistake.
Oh, God.
It's Worrell.
Oh, did he? He made a mistake. Oh, did he?
It's Worrell.
Wow. I reckon it's Worrell's free kick too. Keane wasn't even anywhere near it.
No, he wasn't.
So why is he giving it to Keane? Oh, God.
That's bizarre.
Keane now goes forward. Burton sits under it. Big fist through the ball. Taylor's there. So too Rozee. And that, my friends, is quarter time. All Adelaide early. Middle of the quarter, an arm wrestle. Port come back hard. And it's 3-4-22 Adelaide to Port Adelaide 3-1-19. That margin is 3 points. This is 5AA footy, thanks to the FIVEAA Milk Company.
This quarter brought to you by Budget Car and Truck Rental. For utes, vans, trucks, trailers, buses and more. Call 13 27 27. This is 5AA football.
Hearing crunching or rustling noises in your home? Call your team at Murray's today and get 20% off visual termite inspections and rodent treatments for ultimate peace of mind. For 20% off today, go to murraypestcontrol.com.au.
Oh, here's one. Hey, you leaving, mate?
Yeah, 1 sec, buddy.
Okay, no worries. Oh, come on. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up.
Parking turning you into someone you're not? Search UPark app today.
Signs you may have big D envy. You've been invited to a mate's house to watch the footy, but you decline. Another mate's having a birthday bash. You make up an excuse not to attend. And finally, you feel like your partner is comparing what you have to what your mates have. Avoid Big D envy. Get in touch with Big Difference Home Improvements. From outdoor blinds to stunning verandas, pergolas, timber decking and carports. Big Difference Home Improvements will change your life. BigDifference.com.au.
It's a fact. There are thousands of medium-sized homes all over Adelaide that have old-style, inefficient heating and cooling. So, upgrade now with Mannix. Get a super-efficient, top-quality ducted reverse cycle air conditioning system now and be comfortable all year round from an incredible $7,990 fully installed with our 10-year installation guarantee. Conditions apply. But don't delay, prices are rising. Buy now and save. From the SA name you know and trust.
Agostino and Mitsubishi are doing Renaults on their Nailsworth dealership, which means one thing, Renault stock clearance.
That's right. Head into Agostino Mitsubishi and grab yourself a deal.
Now, what are we talking?
Triton, Eclipse, Outlander, Pajero, all of them.
So which one would you get?
All of them.
Me too. Agostino Mitsubishi Renault stock clearance is on for a limited time only. Head into Agostino Mitsubishi Nailsworth. Hey, and don't forget Mawson Lakes, Timmy.
I could never do that, Rowie.
What makes Ray White the big name in business broking? They're people, like multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year, Brett Buckley, and his team of business professionals. They take a deep dive into your business, finding value and potential, and they know what they're looking for because they know businesses. They're not real estate salespeople trying to sell businesses, they're business people selling businesses. If you want to know what your business is worth, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA. Multiple Business Broker of the Year awards.
Check this out.
Real-time video with a real-time report on my car.
There's the problem, there's the quote, and here you go, approved.
So good. Totally transparent instant SMS approval and Automasters pay later options.
AutoCam, new from Automasters.
This quarter brought to you by Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home.
Gliderol.com.au.
Tries to find, Rochelli's taken a burler. Josh Rochelli, that's a perfect kick. The minute he kicked it, and he's done the big double cobra.
Look at this big high kick. This one, it'll come off. That's a magnificent snap. Bill Thorp pretty happy with himself.
This is alarm bells. Finlayson, generally a really good kick at goal. Arches his back. Beautiful leg. He's put it straight through. I'm going to call that the settler.
It's an important kick for Mitch, I think, for his confidence. He's nailed it. Georgiades kicks his first. Port Adelaide get back into the contest.
This is 5AA football.
It's 3-4-22. Adelaide, Port 3-1-19. A margin there of 3 points. Rossdale Homes, SA's most trusted fixed price contracts. No hidden costs because trust is a must. Showdown 57, she's an arm wrestle. Let's go down to our boundary rider, Sam Daddo.
Thanks, Rowie. Pretty quiet quarter down here on the bench for both teams. Clean bill of health for the Crows so far. Joe Richards for Port Adelaide had a bit of work done on his right lower calf, but came back into the game and looked like that wasn't too much of a worry. Conditions, though, still not a breath of wind and very, very slippery underfoot.
Let's have a look at some of those RA insurance stats. Campo, you first.
Yeah, well, I guess from an Adelaide perspective, their contest, they're winning that ground ball scramble, which they're really good at. The thing that Matty Nix would be worried about is the clearance game, so 5-10 in favour of there, which is what Port Adelaide needed to do to make sure that they had some impact around the ball. So all of Adelaide's scores come out of turnover, so 3-5, so that's a little worrying for Port Adelaide, I guess, but the intercept possession number's important. So Adelaide have had 15, Port Adelaide 9, so that sort of plays into what Adelaide want to do. But on the flip side, Port have actually defended really well. We know that Adelaide are the best defensive half-scoring team in the comp. They've had 9 cracks at it, and they've only kicked 1 goal won, so Port have been able to be pretty strong defensively.
Well,
RA insurance, Treaders?
Well, for Port, it looked ugly early, didn't it? The first half of the term, you go, how are they going to score? And all of a sudden, you get probably a very lucky free kick, and then all of a sudden, Finlayson gets it, and as Campo touches on, the momentum of the game changed from that moment because Port kicked 3 out of the last 4 to go into quarter time. And they did it. At one stage, the inside 50s was 6-1 Adelaide's way. They end up 12-10, so they really did find their way. But they've got to just keep getting some work out of the contest if you're Port Adelaide and deny the opposition first use of the footy.
Rossdale Homes, SA's most trusted fixed price contracts, no hidden costs because trust is a must, is our major sponsor for the second quarter. Here's Debbie.
Gliderol Garage Door scoreboard. Only 3 points separate them. Saligo trying to get the clearance. He was tackled well by Bizantini. The big fella then, he got hold of the ball for it.
I paid it. I got a message at quarter time, the umps.
TJM, tough tackle. He wants to give it off. He does to the running Farrell on his left. Quick, long, deep entry. Up goes and takes the mark. That was Finlayson.
Yeah, well, watch the replay.
It was too easy.
Yes.
It was too easy on Morrill. Sorry, Keane, it was.
And it's 2 hands in the middle of the back,
Well,
too.
I don't reckon it was. I reckon it was okay, Treaders. You look on this replay. It was just in the marking contest. Just enough in the side. Yeah. Keane made it look a little bit more than what it was. I reckon that's a mark.
And Finlayson, who kicked the first goal for Port Adelaide to settle them down after a fast start by Adelaide, he's got an opportunity from about 25 metres out. Put Port in front. Can he do it? He's kicked and he has missed.
Wow.
Hooked it terribly. So 3-2-20 to 3-4-22. Not the start Port would have liked on the Gliderol Garage Door scoreboard.
Yeah, well, there's no better pressure than scoreboard pressure, is there?
And Georgiades missed one at the other end, so Laird got it. Big fist by Riley O'Brien up here on the wing. Just a hack kick by Butters. It goes back. And a really good defensive mark by Keane. Now, he can go laterally to Worrell. Worrell's now at fullback. You've got a player short and butts, but ignores him. Goes longer. Gee, it wasn't the best of kicks. Keane and I reckon that was Keys. Got one just over his shoulder from Farrell. He's going to get that free kick.
Sorry, Roy. It's just not really a midfielder's game at the moment, is it?
No.
Like there's no one that's really taking hold of it from a midfield perspective from either team, to be honest. It's both teams' backs and forwards that have actually had the influence.
Oh, so it was an overlap wrapped by Worrell. It gave to Walker. Walker got it forward. A quick kick there by Alex Neil-Bullen, almost a mark by Fogarty. Crummer's needed. Oh, gee, Bergman's doing it at both ends, wrapped up. Got the ball free. Somehow got it back to Alex Neil-Bullen. Goal! No, he's hit the post. Big let-off. Crows lead by 4. Glider Garage Door scoreboard.
Who dug that out? That was good.
Fogarty.
Jeez, that
just ripped it out and just handballed it at knee level.
He's actually started really well, Fog.
Yeah. Well, he's the highest on the ground for our insurance with 7, him and Keys.
Sin got it back in a 1-2 now.
Keys has just given away a silly free kick. It's just whacked him in the head.
Finlayson, the long ball. Sam Powell-Pepper, Worrell, one-on-one. Sam kept his feet.
Yeah.
He's got the ball now. He's going to snap it. He is, but he's got... bad bounce. Good bounce. Amazing bounce! It wasn't quite Angus Moncrief, but it was a huge off-break, and it bounced over the top of the defender.
It was Hinge.
Sam Powell-Pepper kicks the Beechwood Homes goal tonight.
Well, Hinge is filthy. It's not as filthy as Guff Moncrief's one many years ago, but that one he's thinking, I've got it covered, and it's done the Warnie wrong in there, hasn't it?
It's done the wrong. Bounced 20 metres in the air.
And it's bounced over his head.
That was the bounce. It was the incredible thing.
Wow, watching on the replay, that's... It's actually bounced back to him but over his arm height.
Yes.
Crazy.
That is the Beechwood Homes goal of the day. Don't worry about that. Real custom home builders are Beechwood. Back in the middle we go. So Port Adelaide hit the front for the first time of the day. 4-2-26 to 3-5-23, Treaders.
4 out of the last 5, Port.
Yeah, well, they've got the momentum. Back in the middle they go. Riley O'Brien and Vicentini, they arm wrestle. Charging off his line. Rankin hasn't done a lot, but gee, I've liked Bergman's game on Dawson. It's worrying him. He's not getting anywhere near it. Out the back, Saligo couldn't quite get it. Connor Rozee did. Charging through was Cummings. Got the handle out to Nankervis. Nankervis now back to Dawson. Right on cue, goes laterally to the outer side. Alex Neil-Bullen fell over. Finlayson kept his seat. Sorry, it was Farrell. Tapped it to himself. Now tries to get a handball. Brilliant. Big contest. Cummings got it somehow out to Alex Neil-Bullen. Had a kick shallow inside 50. Fogarty's there. Thorp kicked around his body. Bounces and wobbles. Cracking in there is Rochelle. Big tackle. It was a massive tackle. Well done, Walker. Gave to Keane as his goal. Keesy's got a goal.
Well, they're saying it's touched.
Oh, are they?
Rosie's claiming touch.
Yeah.
Gee, Rochelli's fumble. Talk us through that, Campo.
Well, he knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to take and then accelerate either laterally, either side, but he took off laterally before he touched it.
That was a Superman dive.
Yeah. That is that Connor Rozee?
Yeah,
That's
Connor
Rozee. That is an outstanding... He's dived like Superman. He needs his jocks on the outside of those black shorts. That was outstanding. That is called a 1%er, Treaders.
Yeah, it's a captain leading by the way. Didn't give up on the goal.
Well done.
Okay, so the margin's going to be cut to 2 points. Gliderol Garage Doors, street safety style. Gliderol.com.au. Connor Rozee, take a bow, son.
We started well. He's had 12, most on the ground by both teams.
He's a bloody star.
Kick-in was terrible.
Oh, no.
Lockie Jones left it behind. This is a big error. Rochelle goes over the top. This time he won't miss. He won't miss. He's kicked it on his right boot. Keys has got it. And that actually hurt and actually undid the amazing ability to touch the ball because he's turned it over with a poor re-entry. I'm not sure why he was bringing it back in, but it was a terrible turnover and Keys has made him pay. Gliderol Garage Door scoreboard. Crows back in front by 4 points.
Yeah, well, it's disappointing. As soon as you pump him up, doesn't it? We keep saying how well he was. And it was just a missed kick. That's just execution. It was the right option. He didn't have much on. He kicked to Lockie Jones, but they just cleaned it up. Just can't give those opportunities to that forward line. They make you pay.
Gift.
Certainly is 4-point margin. 5AA footy, thanks to Flurio Milk Company. Cracking weather. How can it be this, well, late in the year and have this sort of weather? 24 degrees today. Clear blue sky. Great game for Showdown 57. Vicentini outstanding to Bergman. Gave it to Butters. Tapped it like a basketball. Back to Connor Rozee. Came charging through. Oh, that was incredible. Riley O'Brien missed the tackle. And he's laced out Georgiades.
Outstanding.
That is as good a football as you'll see.
Wow.
Talk us through that, Treaders.
Well, Connor Rozee, Bergman gives the ball that's probably not available to give, but Connor Rozee should have been smashed in the contest, but he somehow bounced off, got ball to boot, and the only person watching Timmy was Georgiades.
Yeah. Do you reckon he meant to hit him?
Oh, no. Well, he just meant to get it to the hot spot, and the beauty of a forward who comes at the footy,
that's pure talent.
Butts just gave up on it. He didn't even know what was going on.
Okay, Cathedral End, 30 out, directly in front. Mitch has got one, and he has got two. Connor Rozee, you star. Mitchy Georgiades on the front foot, took a beautiful mark. He's got two, and the margin's cut to two, and that's Port's way.
Oh, well, outstanding by the captain. He just gave up. He did a wonderful effort to stop Keys. Then he turned one over. Then he had an impact again. That's what you want for young players out there. Just let it go, move on. You can't do anything about the previous play, so you move on, and that's what he did. He comes spitting off half-back off Neil Bullen. It was Riley O'Brien that missed him. Just couldn't lay a glove on him, Jordan Dawson. But as you said, Treaders, as soon as the speed of ball came forward, he was the only forward that picked it up about what was going to happen about now. As soon as the flight got off the ball, he had 2 or 3 metres on Butts.
I'm starting to put keys on him. That's what I'm doing.
So back in the middle, it's going to be Visentini and Riley O'Brien. See Riley O'Brien trying to get straight to him so he can win that tap down. He did it well. Peatling just spat it out to Saligo. Saligo's quick kick. Phil Thorp in front. He's been
that's 50.
The best forward so far.
Don't be surprised. You know, it could happen today.
Yeah. He just chips it into the pocket. No, very well done. And I reckon Neil Bullen in front takes the mark.
And
well, this is how we can hurt Rozee.
And this is the thing. Oh, watch the stoppage. Rozee sped off half-back, wanting is the extra contest because he's feeling the game. He's playing well. He's probably one of the best on the ground at the moment. But all of a sudden, Adelaide gets the clearance, and then his man goes, hang on, I'm going to make him do what he doesn't really want to do, is defend.
Great call, Treaders for purity.
It was a pretty good kick by Phil Thorp, advantage side, as Neil Bullen approaches goal, comes on in, and he has nailed it, I reckon. He's got it. Alex Neil Bullen, he gets his first goal, and the Crows hit back in front. They go to 5-6-36, Port Adelaide at 5-2-32. It's all on the Gliderol Garage Door scoreboard. Strength, safety and style, gliderol.com.au.
Well, it's a real arm wrestle. You look at the numbers for the quarter. The only real issue for Port, for example, is the uncontested marks. Now, they actually did that really well in the first quarter. Treaders only gave up 12 for the quarter, which is what Adelaide want to do, is try and control it by kick mark. But this quarter alone, they've had 18 in their first, we played 5 minutes of the quarter, so they'd want to just tighten up on that just to make sure they don't give them any easy ball. But for all the other numbers, all very even at the moment, hence why the score is only 1 point the difference for this quarter.
Yeah, Beechwood Homes goal of the day, that one, 5-6 to 5-2. Crows by 4. Back the middle we go again. Riley O'Brien won it. Ollie Wines was outstanding. Peatling tackled him because he played from behind. Goes forward. Laird took a terrific mark on Richards, and that's him again, real estate mark of the day at the true centre-half-back position. He owes them a goal. Long with his right leg to the half or the wing. Up goes Thilthorpe, and Lear's ball was exquisite. Richards got the crump, gave it off to Drew. Drew now to Ollie Wines. Ollie Wines on his right leg, pulls the kick inside 50. Going back was Worrell with courage. Miller got tackled brilliantly. And that's a big TJM tough tackle. McEntee, what's he in the team for to tackle? And there'll be a ball up on the half-forward flank for Port Adelaide.
That was really good by Port. You looked up, it was all one-on-one. They didn't let any free options out for Adelaide.
Richards quickly off to Mead. Mead around the corner. He's going deep. It's not going to score, I don't reckon. Out of bounds on the full. It'll be a re-entry by Adelaide.
Good pressure by Adelaide then. That kick needed to be top of the square. Enough pressure forced it out.
32 plays 36. It's the Adelaide Crows by 4 points. Gliderol Garage Door scoreboard keen to bring the ball back in. Contest, lots of players up.
Well, that's a mark, isn't it?
Dawson is claiming it for a 2 grabber, and he's been paid.
How good's he above his head, Timmy?
Oh, he's a McGain real estate marker of the day quite regularly as he drives it up the wing and finds Thilthorpe, who's been pretty busy in this game. He takes off, he kicks a long ball. O'Brien on his own.
Nervous
Gives
about
it
this
off.
matchup. Rochelle and Sin.
Quickly to Saligo into the pocket.
Great
And that was a good effort in the end. It was Sin, I reckon, just got a fist into it. Over the boundary line she goes. Left forward pocket throw in for the Adelaide Crows.
Did he go for a mark on his chest, did he? Allowed Sin to get the fist in. Great defence.
If I'm Rochelle,
had his dukes out like he used to tread us.
If I'm Rochelle, I'm using body on him. Because you can play the running race and Sin might hang in, but he's not going to hang in physically.
Okay, Walker won it. Connor Rozee got it. Just a little kick by Saligo back into the corner.
And I'm isolating this bloke.
Phil Thorp is marked on a leer, 30 out directly in front. How many marks has he had for RA Insurance Stat?
No, I'll just check.
I reckon that's his 5th, and 4 of them have been inside 50. He is the difference up there.
Well, if he kicks straight in the first term, he's probably got 3 goals.
That's right.
So he is the threat, and he's playing the high old school centre half forward role.
And losing him coming back.
He is.
Well, he's had 6. He's had 3 contested and 3 uncontested.
Unreal. Phil Thorp pulls the trigger. Bang! He loves it. He's like a big gorilla. Gorilla's in the mist. Went down with a big huncher-rolly, and the Crows are out by 10. He's got 2. And they go to 6-6 to 5-2.
Yeah, well, they're sort of just playing the game in their front half, Adelaide, aren't they? Port have had a couple of opportunities in there, but for RA Insurance, I mean, they've had 6, but for the quarter, Adelaide had 5 entries. They've kicked 3 goals too. So you talk about efficiency once it goes in there. That's what they've been able to do. So they've been a little bit more dangerous when they've gone in. They've kicked 2 from stoppage, Adelaide. So they've been able to get some ascendancy around that part, which they had their colours lowered in the first quarter.
Credit goes to Neil Bullen, though.
Yeah,
Neil Bullen was the one that put the pressure on the Rozee kick, which forced the ball to come back inside.
Not a lot from Rankin either. RA Insurance Stats.
He hasn't. He's him. Well, Jake Saligo was the one as well. He only had 3 in that first quarter. Rankin's had 4 for the day.
Finlayson on the tap. Wine's got it down to Horn Francis. Beautiful handball. Out to, too slow, Finlayson. I don't know how many days he thought he had to kick that, but he got it on the boot eventually, and it just dribbled to Sam Powell-Pepper. They're trying to win it at ground level. It's a panic kick out of defence. It just goes long towards half-forward Fogg versus Radigalea, and they're happy to see it over the boundary line. It'll be a throw-in.
It's a really weird game. Well, Jason Horn-Francis only had 2 from a midfield point of view. Rankin's only had 4. Saligo's had 5.
The superstars are quiet.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, draw.
And Butters has had 7, but you feel like he hasn't really been involved in the game other than a couple of those score involvements.
Yeah, well, Phil Thorpe's been outstanding. Horn Francis on cue. Got his stoppage work as elite. Goes forward, tries to find Worrell. Worrell's there. Burton's there. Slapped forward. Good work there by Laird. Got it out to Nan Curvis. Does a little chippy to Peatling. Like this game, had a lot of tackles. Centre wing grandstand side. Peatling long with his right leg. Phil Thorpe's body work on Finlayson. Cop that and play fair. Gee, he went around his mark. Goes forward. Walker, thank you very much. On Lockie Jones, right-hand forward pocket, Riverbank stand in, will have a shot at goal.
Well, that's Adelaide understanding who they're playing against. Phil Thorpe is going to beat him every day of the week against Finlayson. And then Lockie Jones, Tex did enough early to bumper bar him out, protect the catch space, because he knows if it hits the decks, Jones has got the speed. But that's 2 key forwards finding body against probably inferior contested players.
Taylor Walker, margin 10. 14-minute mark of the second quarter, and that's a dog of a kick. That's a flat mongrel, finger-breaking.
That's the worst kick I think I've ever seen him do.
Worst kick in his history.
The old leg's getting tired.
All right, Port Adelaide bring the ball back in. It goes to Farrell. Farrell plays on quickly. He kicks a long ball to the wing. Rolly O'Brien in front. Oh, but at the back.
Front.
Too easy.
Lord.
Comes back inside. Give off by Taylor. Malira left it behind. Now pressure by Byrne-Jones. Well, McEntee went in really hard.
And there's a free in the back against McEntee.
Paul McEntee?
Paul McEntee.
Sorry, there wasn't much in that either, to be fair.
He plays on. He kicks a wide ball. Sitting under the side. Just waiting for it. It's Mead. Mead takes the mark. He comes back inside. Burton's there. Burton just on the edge of the point of the square half forward. Kick this one deep into the pocket. Horn Francis comes across the face. Couldn't take the mark at ground level. Mead laid a tough tackle, but it was tapped out to Peatling. And it's a bit of a turn. It's been touched. Now Burton thinks he's got a mark. But it's,
well, that's more in the back than the one that McEntee got in the middle of the ground.
And it will be a ball up. Just in front of the wing position, in front of the 5AA commentary box, thanks to the FIVEAA Milk Company.
Yeah, margin 11 Adelaide's way. The big men go at it. That was Finlayson in the end. Peatling's getting busy, kicks the ball around his body. Walker's out in front of Radagalier. Alier sees it over the line between half-forward and wing. Crows going to the Riverbank stand in. It's on the western side. They lead 6-7-43 to Port Adelaide 5-2-32. A neat little margin of 11 points, but it's been a cracker of a game. I've loved Bergman in on Dawson. What a genius move that one's turned out to be. Long way to go in the game. Vicentini, well done there by Horn Francis, came forward at stoppage, led below, got it. Well done, Horn Francis again. Peatling get another one, now to Hinge back to Peatling. Peatling on his right leg, squirts it forward. Oh, it went over the top of Rankin's head. He's had a bit of a stinky bum at the moment. Here comes Finlayson. Oh, gee, Farrell left it. Always going to get in a bit of trouble there. Radagalier gave it on the up. Here he goes, the superstar. Zach Butters takes a bounce, sees a player in the middle. His vision's like a sand crab.
Oh, there we go. Gives it off to Byrne-Jones. Byrne-Jones drops it short.
Oh,
There's
that
Georgiades. 50 out. Probably have to kick from 55, but dead in front.
How did Butters see that bloke in the middle of the ground?
Oh, it was just a dinky kick, wasn't it? When he's on with that kick, it's the best kick he does. But when he's a little bit off, he can be a little bit too leery with it, but that was just perfect. And then the quick chain of handball where everyone was able to run into space created the perfect spot for a leading forward like Georgiades to lead his man to the footy with a great kick.
In the pre-match you said someone needs to kick 6.
Yeah,
well, you're looking at him.
Did. So it's going to be Mitch Georgiades, 55 out, dead in front. See what he can deliver here. It'll be a mighty kick. And he comes, he delivers, and he's hooked that badly. Will they touch it? Nah, out of bounds on the full, I reckon, and Keane claimed the mark anyway. So, yeah, it was a poor effort in the end, and that keeps the margin 11 points. Blighter old garage door scoreboard. Crows in lead.
About halfway through the quarter, Laird comes up onto the wing. Radigalier's in front.
Oh,
that is an outstanding mark on Fogarty.
His hands the last 3 weeks are much improved.
McGain real estate mark of the day goes back to Farrell. Farrell now centre wing grandstand side. Alier wants it. He says, why would I when I can kick at 80? Horn Francis on his Pat Malone. I would have gone that way. Riley O'Brien goes back. Big fist by Hinge came charging through. Handballs to Keys, had his head ripped off twice. Should be holding the ball then, umpire. No, it's not. Kick by Sin around his body. Tries to fight Riley O'Brien. Darcy Byrne-Jones. Finlayson, handball. Out the back to Darcy Byrne-Jones. He's got the overlap in Drew. Drew has a shot at goal. It's going to bounce and wobble out of bounds. No, Horn Francis good enough to get it. He dribbles back, gets Sam Powell-Pepper. That is unbelievable footy.
It's a 1% of goals. The middle of the ground. Well, that fist in by Byrne-Jones just kept it alive.
Well, it was the tackle on Keys because he ducked his head as Burton comes off. Is it Burton?
Well,
he's kicked it.
He has. So Sam Powell-Pepper unselfishly gave it to Burton, who just anguished through. Rochelli's got his hands on his hips. Well, it was your man, son. He put it through for a goal, and he cuts that margin. They go to 6-2, 38 to 6-7-43. Margin of 5 points. Gliderol Garage Doors, strength, safety and style. Gliderol.com.au.
It was well done by Port. As I just said, it was the Keys tried to draw a free kick and then it popped out, but then it was just a flick into the corridor. But as you said, Treaders, Darcy Byrne-Jones just got a fist on it, and then Jason Horne-Francis just composed, didn't blaze away. He could have easily wrapped it on his left foot, hit Sam Powell-Pepper. Sure, Ryan Burton, he's a bit like Brodie Smith, isn't he? He just runs past and kicks him from 50.
They're winning those little 50-50 one-on-one scramble balls, aren't they?
On ground level,
really doing
Adelaide
well.
have won probably more one-on-ones in the air. That would be the change in the game at the moment.
It's a 5-point margin. Adelaide Crows lead. They've got about 7.5 minutes left in this half on the Zambrero clock. Now it's stolen by Dawson. Dawson now on the left, goes deep. Phil Thorp gets rid of his opponent but couldn't complete the mark.
He had him cold then.
He had him cold.
Just stumbled at the wrong time.
And it went through for a rush behind, and Sin now will bring the ball back in for Port Adelaide. That margin exactly 1 goal, 6 points, and it is 6-8 to 6-2. That's probably the worrying thing. Adelaide a bit inaccurate.
He's doing a lot of ruck work, Finlayson. I'd love to get the game time that he's been in the ruck instead of Vicentini. He's off again. Get that for RAA Insurance. Little chip back now to Burton. Burton now will come out laterally. It's sitting in the air too long.
Yep.
Nankervis was strong. Oh, why did you try to claim the mark?
Yeah.
Drew definitely had first touch.
Yeah.
And he got caught cold holding the ball. And he could have just freed the arms to Alex Neil-Bullen. Anyway, half-forward flank on the western side. We've got ourselves a ball up. Crows by 6. Now Vicentini wins it. Down to Butters. One way, then the other. Draws the man with a handball. Missed Bergman, but he's good enough to soccer it. Here's a 50-50 ball. Darcy Byrne-Jones took the body. That was terrific. TJM tough tackle, and there's a ball up in the middle of the ground.
And it is. So it's close. One goal separates them. Adelaide's way. Vicentini back in the ruck. Butters tries to take it. Did well. Got it to Burgoyne somehow. Burgoyne's kick was half smothered. Lord came out at it. He left it behind though. Ground level. Worrell goes in. He turned it over. It's Byrne-Jones. He's trapped it. He then delivers and finds Finlayson, who takes the mark in the hunched position.
No, it's great composure. He just didn't panic. He had Sam Powell-Pepper just on his left-hand side for a handball receive, but that was going to get covered pretty quickly by Rory Ladd, who read it, and then he just lowered his eyes, and Finlayson just came straight at him. His last 2 kicks inside forward 50, outstanding.
I love the pressure too. Byrne-Jones, Powell-Pepper, McAtee have just done in this quarter.
1%ers.
Lots of pressure,
100%.
bringing the ball to ground and just keep giving your forwards a chance.
Jeremy Finlayson, he hooks this one terribly. That is a really bad miss.
He's missed 2 sitters.
He has
Would you call them
indeed.
sitters?
I would say he's not been on radar with the other 2. First one was brilliant, lovely kick, but 6-3-39 plays 6-8-44. 5 points on the Glider Old Garage Door scoreboard.
So Hinge tries to find Curtin. Why wouldn't you? Because you're on Mead. Wraps his man up. Should have got the mark. Umpire says ball up on that outer side wing. 6-8 Adelaide 44. 6-3-39. As we said, margin 5. And about 5.5 minutes to go on the quarter on the Zambero clock. Umpy throws it up. Full house. Riley O'Brien tapped it. Horn Francis behind his man. Rankin couldn't quite get it. Butts did. Gave it to Horn Francis. Almost a smother off the boot. Miller is in front. Takes a good mark. Oh, umpire said play on. Saligo's there. Great work by Sam Powell-Pepper. I love calling that kid when he plays. Umpire said, oh, out of the zone, holding the ball.
There's an umpire.
Umpire 11 was 300 metres away. Oh, that is just...
How
stay out
annoying
of
is
it, you bloody squirrel head. Comes over to Warren. He's got it at full back.
3 metres away, that other umpire didn't pay it.
No need to pay it. No need.
Michael Lanny with the ball in hand. He kicks towards half forward. They set themselves. Burgoyne went up high. Rozee rose. Oh, he roved it beautifully. Burton put his teammate under the pump. Handball would have been good. And then it was forced kick off the ground by Drew, which just lands into the hands of Rankin. So pretty untidy work by Port Adelaide there. Rankin
needs to get himself in the game, Rankin, I reckon.
He knows how to find a target. He does so on this occasion. Saligo. Saligo into a gap, but Horn Francis is going to fill that hole.
Jeez, he covered well, didn't he?
And the big bearded monster in Phil Thorp pushes him over.
That would have been an uncontested mark to Phil Thorpe. He had that much space on Aaliyah, but it was a great team drop-off for Horn Francis.
He switched to half-back, finds Sin. Sin's got it.
They've got a 2-on-1 down the line if they want to be smart.
Go to Byrne-Jones, because over the back, everybody ignored Byrne-Jones.
Great kick.
Why do they ignore him? Byrne-Jones centre wing.
Well, they can't go quick now because Worrell was the extra, so was Riley O'Brien.
Drew got the kick and he was dumped afterwards. Is there a contest there? There is. That allowed McEntee to get the ball to Bergman. Bergman hooks it around. Dangerous. Who's in front? Punched away. Well done. That was good work. Keane will be the rover and he'll put it out to the back pocket.
I'll tell you what, if Dan Curtin meant that, that's footy IQ. Playing in front, couldn't mark, knew he had an opponent, just tapped it forward, Crum brilliantly, and away they go. 6-8 to 6-3. Crows by 5. She's game on, everyone. No one's got a real ascendancy other than this bloke.
He's had 8 marks, this bloke.
And Porter lucky he's taken him on centre wing.
He is the difference at the moment. The big man with the beard. We call him Thorp, or Filthy.
Walker's off, so that's why he's playing a bit higher.
Burton flew out the back, Fogarty. Crumming again. And at the other end is Connor Rozee. What a game he's going. We get his RAA insurance stats shortly. Does never miss a target at McAtee's mark on the half-forward flank.
I can remember one.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Let it go.
Up to 18, he's had
He's been outstanding.
Both he and Butters have had 7 for the quarter, RA Insurance. So they've been the ones that have made those clinical decisions.
Well, and Horn Francis as well. Trent, as we spoke about, the midfields haven't really fired. They certainly have.
Oh, nice kick by Wines, finds Bergman. Bergman good overhead. His handball was poor.
Take that back.
And he missed Butters by a mile. It goes out of bounds. That is just really sad with no pressure.
What a move, Bergman into the midfield on Dawson.
It's definitely worked.
Well, what's Dawson's stats for our Insurance?
Both have had 4 this term.
Okay, well, that's a 0-all draw.
So
Last week,
Dawson's had 7.
Dawson was POG by the length of
10.
straight.
And Bergman's at 10.
Margin 5, Riley O'Brien wins it. Saligo charges through. Gee, that needs to hit, and it does to Nan Curvis. Got a player breaking for him. Gee, it was good pace there in the end by Tarleton, his mark. He's got a player short, Thorp. He's going to get his 10th mark or 9th, doesn't matter. He's up on the wing. Thorp plays on a leg, goes long with his right leg. Get under that if you can. Burton had to go back, and he did. Alex Neil-Bullen was terrific. Sin was better. Connor Rosie's a star. Gee, Alex Neil-Bullen's been terrific as well. And DBJ, no one to kick it to. Handball back to Burgoyne. Burgoyne's got no one to kick it to Richards. Richards now on the half-forward flank, and a kick around his body, and a big fist from behind.
Well, that's almost a win for Port, because they had one guy down the line on about 6 crows.
Yeah. In the end, there's not much. This is a good result. The throw-in.
They can regroup, can't they? Walker comes on. They need him.
FIVEAA football, thanks to Flurio Milk Company. Fresh, local, amazing milk by SA for SAs. Tapped down Bergman nearly. In went Wines. Bergman got it out to Butters. Butters a long handball into the middle. He finds Farrell. He's dodged 1-2. Got to get the kick now. He kicks it into that pocket. Fighting hard at ground level. Here's great tackle. That was Worrell on Georgiades. Got him stoned. Motherless holding the ball with a TJM. Tough tackle of the night.
Gee, what a month he's had.
As you say, Butts then, didn't he?
What
Turned him inside out and just covered his mate.
There was beautiful method around that stoppage by Port with Farrell on the outside. They do that very well. I don't know why you'd ever leave Farrell 24 to centre from a stoppage ever. Umpire's going to call hole on the ball now. Really?
It popped out, then he dragged it back in again, the second one.
He's been busy, this little boy, Peatley. Don't like his moustache, but that doesn't matter. It goes up towards Saligo. And again,
he's been
Darcy Byrne-Jones
He's been good.
Has been outstanding.
I like his game.
Little 1%ers. They all help, don't they? And it's just that desire. It's just
he's
putting
playing
the intent.
Desperate footy.
You've got to show your intent, and he's doing exactly that. O'Brien did well, but ground level with Bergman, and Butters work hard to Wines. They get it out to Farrell, gives it to Rozee. Rozee swings it around. Somebody's got to make a contest here. It's a big leap ended up by Georgiades into Finlayson. Finlayson's nailed it. He's just kicked the old flat punt. Peter Hudson style, and he's nailed it. He's kicked 2-2 from Port Adelaide. Well, they'll hit the front, 7-3-45 to 6-8-44, all on the Glider Old Garage Door scoreboard.
Well, you talk about the contest the last 5 minutes, Roe. It appears that at stoppage, Port's been pretty clean at ground level. Farrell again. Good. They ran to Farrell's right leg. Then Rozee comes back inside and he launches. And I love this from Georgiades. He goes up against 2 crows, splits the pack. And, geez, I'll tell you what, you'd have to be happy kicking that Finlayson, because there was another Port option right in front of him. He almost kicked a barrel on the run, but that was just momentum. And I love it when a key forward brings the ball to ground. It brings the small players into play. And in that case, it was actually his fellow tall down there, and Finlayson gets the reward.
Well, my gut feel is they've got most of their goals from stoppage, Campo, Port.
They both kicked 2 this quarter from that perspective. But it's certainly the last couple of stoppages, Port looked more active on that ground level ball than what Adelaide have.
Okay, Peatling won that. They were told to play on. He goes forward. Playing in front was Walker. Crumbing is still Thorp. Can he free the arms? He does. And here he comes again. BOG at the moment. Connor Rozee has been nothing short of superb. Kicks to the outer side and it's gone out of bounds. What would you do without him this quarter? He has been magical. Who the hell is on him? Where's Keys? Number 2. Go and stand on number 1.
Well, it's Neil-Bullen.
I think it's Neil-Bullen.
Yeah. But I know, because he's going to Neil-Bullen.
Yeah. So Byzantini in front, but Dawson wins the crumb. It's an awkward ball. Tex took it, tried some fancy stuff, but he eventually gets it to Rankin. Rankin can accelerate, kicks it on the outside of the boot, finds Rochelle.
Well, they won't stop because the free kick was paid for Tex.
Is it going back or not?
No. They let it take the advantage.
Well, the siren sounds now. Port were leading by a point, but this will put the Crows in front should Rochelle kick it.
Gee, it's a cracking game, Timmy.
It's been an interesting game. I would say it's not at the normal
classic
frenetic pace that
dour
showed.
game, isn't it?
It's more dour and more careful. So Rochelle dead in front. He's normally a beautiful kick, shouldn't miss. Kicks it hard, kicks it straight through the middle. Rochelle gets his second. And the Crows will go in at half-time. Leaders by 5 points. 7-8-50 plays Port, 7-3-45. And that is on the Glider Roll Garage Door scoreboard. And it's been a cracking first half. All thanks to the FIVEAA Milk Company. This is 5AA football.
This quarter brought to you by Glider Roll Garage Doors. Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderroll.com.au.
This is 5AA football.
5AA Match Day, thanks to FIVEAA Milk Company. As good as it gets for fresh, local, amazing milk. By SA, for SA.
Hearing crunching or rustling noises in your home? Call your team at Murray's today and get 20% off visual termite inspections and rodent treatments for ultimate peace of mind. For 20% off today,
No worries with the team from Murray's.
go to murraypestcontrol.com.au.
Signs you may have big D envy. You've been invited to a mate's house to watch the footy, but you decline. Another mate's having a birthday bash. You make up an excuse not to attend. And finally, you feel like your partner is comparing what you have to what your mates have. Avoid Big D envy. Get in touch with Big Difference Home Improvements. From outdoor blinds to stunning verandas, pergolas, timber decking and carports, Big Difference Home Improvements will change your life. BigDifference.com.au.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles' famous once-a-year May Mayhem is the biggest and best ever. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. That's right, spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. Don't miss the biggest and best National Tiles May Mayhem event of all time. So rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
Margie loves it when people comment on her garden.
I love your roses, Margie.
As a keen gardener for many years, it fills her heart with pride and joy.
Ah, just stunning, Margie.
And at Anglicare SA, it warms our hearts to let Margie take all the credit. Anglicare SA's home and community services for seniors can be tailored to anything you need, whether it's personal care, shopping, coordination and clinical services, or gardening. For more, visit anglicaresa.com.au.
What makes distinctive homes so distinctive? See for yourself at Hurtle Grove, where you'll find our new display homes, showcasing the latest in design, style and function, where inspiration is around every corner. If you're thinking of building your new home, be distinctive with Distinctive Homes Affordable Boutique Homes. Visit our new Hurtle Grove display homes now, just off Raynell Road, Old Ranella. Find out more at distinctivehomes.com.au.
Drake's, your Aussie family-owned supermarket, are giving one lucky customer the chance to be a contestant on Channel 9's top-rating game show, Tipping Point Australia. Enter as many times as you like by shopping at Drake's. Simply spend $40 in store and purchase a participating product to enter the draw to be a contestant on Tipping Point Australia, thanks to Drake's. See in-store or online for details. Conditions apply. Drake's, ingredients for every day.
Thinking of painting and don't know where to start?
We do, because we know paint at Crowie's.
So, visit Crowie's. And while you're there, join Crowie's Club to get 10% off everything.
We know paint at Crowie's.
5AA's halftime wrap. It doesn't matter what level you're at, the incredible team at Drummond Golf will lift your game.
Sam kept his feet. Oh, bad bounce, good bounce. Oh, mate, it wasn't quite Angus Montfrey, but it was a huge off-break. Sam Powell-Pepper kicks the Beechwood Homes goal tonight. Lockie Jones left it behind. This is a big error. Rochelle goes over the top. This time he won't miss. He's kicked it on his right boot. Keys has got it. Georgiades in the Finlays and Finlays has nailed it. He's just kicked the old flat tongue. Peter Hudson-style from Port Adelaide hit the front. Rochelle dead in front. Kicks it hard. Kicks it straight through the middle. Rochelle gets his second. The Crows will go in at half-time, leaders.
This is 5AA football.
Yeah, it certainly is. This is the major sports sponsor, Rossdale Homes, SA's most trusted fixed price contracts. No hidden costs, because trust is a must at Rossdale Homes. It is half-time. It is the Adelaide Crows by 5 points. It is 7-8-50 to 7-3-45 in what's been an absorbing showdown, 57 so far. This is the half-time wrap thanks to Drummond Golf, and it doesn't matter what level you're at, Drummond Golf will lift your game. Warren Treadray and Scott Camporeale join me right now. Gentlemen, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, well, from an Adelaide perspective, around the contest, they've been pretty good. The ground ball scramble, they're in top, but it hasn't really been a hindrance in terms of the way the game's been played. So they've sort of won enough around the contest, Port, to still keep some pressure on. But where Port have probably got them, Treaders, is just the uncontested. They've just been able to control outside that initial circle, which we highlighted on Tuesday, Timmy. They're still slightly down in loose ball, but they've been able to get their handball received game going. So that forward handball into space, which allowed Port Adelaide to get through, and we saw some of those marks inside forward 50. So for the game, Port it's 9-7. So we know that Thorp's been pretty strong at the other end from a contested point of view, but it's Port's uncontested marks inside forward 50 that's allowed them to, I guess, hit the scoreboard a little bit more regularly. So probably the inefficiency from Adelaide, they've kicked 4-7 off turnover, so they haven't probably got reward for effort, but that can be due to Port's pressure and the way the ball's been entered as well. So it's not just an Adelaide inefficiency problem, but it's even. I mean, it's even on the scoreboard and it's even on the stats. There's not much that you're sitting here going, geez, that's out of control. I think from Matthew Nick's point of view, if I'm talking from the Crows, they just got to try and stop the uncontested stuff from Port, because I just think they're probably just ahead in that terms of that, which I thought might have given Port a bit of an issue with what Adelaide were able to do to Carlton last week. But Port have kept them in a contest. They've kept them down the line. I've loved the way that they've been able to just stifle Adelaide one-on-one out of their back half, and they haven't been able to score out of their Treaders for the night, Adelaide, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you, Campo. I think we're all a bit concerned the way Port was just real playing possession, slow, boring, hold the ball, kick long down the line. But it's almost like they got a little bit more confidence from the stoppage, where they've been all right in the clearances compared to Adelaide. And because of that, gives them better field position. And then, as you say, the handball chains come, the runs come, the pressures come from the small forwards. They're the little things I've liked really well from, we touch on McEntee's tough. He gets smacked as much as anyone around the comp for, they bring him into the team. Well, we brought him in the team because he's hard and tough, and he's given that. Byrne-Jones been sensational. He's had 3 or 4 kicks to leading forwards, but also getting fists in, doing the little things. I think tackling-wise, Port have been pretty impressive, but even in that second term, I think the inside 50s are 24 to 22 Port's way. But I reckon it was 14-10 in that term. So they're getting good field position now, and clearances 11-7 that term for a total of 20-15. So Port would be happy with that. And as you say, the uncontested possessions, it started out just junk kicks, and then it turned into decent field position. And I think we've got a ripping game of footy. And to be fair, the crowd hasn't really got into this game, because it has been one of those dour games where it's like, not much here. Now, if you look the most dominant players on the ground, I think you pick 2. Phil Thorp for Adelaide looks like he's going to tear it apart.
Yes.
So the old school, you'd say, clear it out and let him play one-on-one, which you don't necessarily get. And then down the same end of the ground, it's Connor Rozee, who's had his own football. Yes, he's had a couple of clangers where he's turned over the footy, but the rest of it is his score involvements are through the roof. And he's had 3 inside 50s for half-back flanker, and to half-time he's had 21 touches. Really liked how Zach Butters got busy then as well. He's had 4 clearance, the most for Port. We thought he started pretty quiet, but he did some things in that second term that really just created that release. And the Bergman to Dawson, I think we all hoped to see it at some stage. Because he's been the glue off half-back, you never thought that Ken Inkley and the coaches would do the move, and Timmy, they did.
Yeah, and it's worked so far, and it's been a great contest. Only the 5 points in it at half-time. This is the half-time wrap, thanks to Drummond Golf. And I'll tell you what, if you want to improve your game, they will lift it right up to the highest level. Now, with a little bit of a player spotlight, thanks to Unique Home-Style Foods. They've been proudly baking SA businesses from where good food is sold. What's the highlight for you, I suppose, in the first half, but also what you need in the second half?
Well, I've got one, and credit where credit's due, Timmy. We were all hesitant around Vicentini's inclusion into the team, for a number of reasons, and valid reasons as well. But you have a look, Riley O'Brien, he's had 14, Vicentini's had 14, so if you go head-to-head, they're 12 apiece. But in terms of clearances, 12-9 in favour of Vicentini and what Port have been able to do, and they've kicked 3-2 to 3-1. So if you go to hits to advantage, 7-2. So Vicentini's actually probably got the chocolates at the moment over Riley O'Brien, hence why...
He's quite tall.
He is deceivingly tall. And he's been able to absorb the physicality that Riley O'Brien, which I thought he may have struggled with. But, credit where credit's due. He's handled it really well so far.
And the thing on him is, Timmy, you'd know this as close as anyone from the club, and you go, the knock on him is not his competitiveness, but his body catching up to his competitiveness in his brain. And now it appears that body is now, 3, 4, 5 years in the system.
He's 22 now,
So he's now in that case where he is a big unit instead of being, when we saw him play in that debut, I reckon against Essendon?
Geelong.
Yeah. It was MCG one night.
MCG.
Parents were out for dinner, got called in.
Yes.
And it was like, he looked like a kid playing.
It was the Bombers. It was the
Bombers at the G.
It was the Houston
goal, I reckon it was, yeah. So he's done a lot of work. He's had a restricted pre-season coming off a knee op, and his form in this sample has warranted. And it's a big decision from the coaching panel. In a big game against O'Brien, he's been in good form.
Player spotlight, thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods. Just second half-wise, who needs to lift, or who do you want to see come into the game from both Port and the Crows?
Well, from a Crows point of view, Isaac Rankin, for me, he's the one that can set this game alight. As we know, if he has a 15-possession second half, gets in score involvements, forward to centre, and probably shows a bit of class in front of goal, he's the one that can potentially turn this game and win it for Adelaide. He's only had the 6 disposals, hasn't really influenced the game at all. So he's the one from an Adelaide perspective that I'll be looking at.
Well, I think from Port, it's Horn Francis. He's had 7 touches. He's done a couple of things and you go, here he comes, but there hasn't been enough of it. If he can turn that into a 10, 15 disposal second half, he could swing the game Port's way.
All right, well, it's in the balance. There's no doubt about that. Our major sports sponsor, thanks to Rossdale Homes. We'll come back after the break. Stephen Rowe will rejoin us, and I will go and get some refreshments. So this is 5AA football. Thanks to Rossdale Homes, the most trusted SA. Fixed price contracts, no hidden costs, because trust is a must.
5AA's halftime wrap. It doesn't matter what level you're at, the incredible team at Drummond Golf will lift your game.
This is 5AA football.
This round's tough tackle is thanks to TJM. Before you get off-road, get into TJM. Nailsworth and Ranella.
Cheapest Chips Super Sale is on now.
Cheapest Chips.
Shop Big Black Dot Clearance, Manchester from $187. And spoil Mum with 30% off candles and diffusers. Become a member, start earning points and live cheaper with Cheapest Chips.
Lawless, the White End people.
Yes, Lawless are still the White End people, celebrating over 80 years in pest control. For termite and other pest problems, call Lawless today on 8443 9636 or online at lawlerpestcontrol.com.au for really good information on all pests. Call Lawless, the people you can trust, on 8443 9636 for a free survey and quote. That's 8443 9636.
Lawless, the White End people.
It's Zambrero Brighton's grand opening on Wednesday, 14th May. To celebrate, we're giving away 1,000 burritos or bowls. Our burritos, bowls and nachos are cooked slow and served fast, with only the freshest, most delicious ingredients. Bring your appetite and your friends and join us from 11 a.m. on 14th May at 430 Brighton Road, Brighton. Zambrero, feel good Mex. Terms and conditions apply. Offer available in restaurant only at Zambrero Brighton on Wednesday, 14th May.
Forget having mulch or compost dumped on your driveway. It's messy and it gets in the way. Instead, order cubic metre Hulker bags of Living Earth compost or mulch. Hulker bags can be delivered where most tip trucks can't get to, and it's Australian Standard certified. Plus, when you've emptied it, fill your Hulker bag with approved hard waste, and Integrated Waste Services will take it away for a discount price. Google Hulker bag now, spelt Hulca. Hulker bag.
For 50 years, Sterling Homes has set the standard. As we mark our 50th anniversary, we invite you to share your dream with us. To celebrate, we're giving you $15,000 in luxury upgrades your way at no extra cost. Choose from reverse cycle air conditioning, stone bench tops, solar panels and more. Plus, we're including 2.7 metre high ceilings. It's your home built your way because at Sterling Homes, your home. Find your nearest display home location at sterlinghomes.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Fusion Clinical Research are looking for people to participate in a study aimed at uncovering and reducing mental decline. The trial results will be used to drive the development of new treatments. People between the ages of 55 and 80 are invited to take part and will receive compensation for their time. If you are interested, find out more and check your eligibility by contacting Fusion at fusiontrials.com.au or by calling 08 7077 6996. That's 7077 6996.
Last month, around 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, logbook servicing, repairs, brakes, aircon and more. Isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
This quarter brought to you by Cheapest Chips. Live cheaper with Cheapest Chips. Shop hot buys and cheap everyday deals in store or online now.
This is 5AA football.
Yeah, it's half-time. Crows by 5 points. Port Adelaide just ran out. It is our half-time wrap. It doesn't matter what level you're at, Drummond Golf will lift your game for less. Let's go down to our boundary rider, Sam Daddo.
Thanks, Rowie. Yeah, still a very quiet one down here on the bench for both sides. Both a clean bill of health for both teams so far. Not looking like the sub's going to be activated just yet. And a quick around the grounds. Gold Coast are currently leading the Bulldogs by 15 points up in Darwin. That one's got 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, great work. Sam Berry, the sub. So to Moraes. What are you doing with that, Campo, with Berry?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Because if you're looking, like for like, where he goes in the midfield and, forward, there's not really anyone that's really standing out. I mean, you're not going to take Cummings off because he's a winger unless they decide to go, let's maybe get him inside and put Saligo on the wing because Saligo probably has a quiet game. He's only had the 7, so I don't think they'll sub him out. On the flip side, and maybe Zach Taylor, he might be the other one. So he's only had the 5. So it might be one of those two, I would have thought, from a Crows perspective.
I'm thinking a little bit of Curtin, only because he's half forward, he's in that shuffle, then he goes on the wing, and Berry can then go to the forward line. I'd move Nankervis back and try and do a bit of a job on DBJ, and Hinge can then slide up onto the wing. I know there's a few moving pieces.
Would you do it now, though?
They're not going to move Hinge to a wing.
No, I know they won't. But this is what I'd do, and it's wrong clearly. But I would have.
Mate, where's credit? You got the tail on it.
No, when Campo says it's wrong, it's wrong. No.
I want to hear it all.
I can be swayed. Yep. He's now swayed, so I'm getting rid of that. I want to do something about Connor Rozee, and Keys is the man. Please, 21 touches at 80%. Give me a spell.
Well, it is, but you're sitting there going, sitting in the coach's box, the conversation would be, what's the damage? Yes, he's getting a fair chunk of the ball. Where's he getting it? Is he starting it part of their chain? They haven't scored a lot off turnover.
What's his score involvements?
Well, he's only had 4. So it's not a big number. So they're the things as a coaching group you're there going, you're adding up. He's only had, from that perspective, you're there going, geez, he's had 10 handball receives. It might be a conversation. Let's just try and shut down some of that overlap. That's probably the thing from a coaching perspective rather than try and go a full negating role. I don't mind the Keys one because I think Keys is the one that can catch him offside with his running power, whereas I think Neil Bullen's a great runner, but I think Keys is another level again, and we've seen it, Rowie, over the course of the couple of years that he's done on Sard, and these guys, once he gets goal side of those attacking half-backs. So it'll be interesting, but I don't think either team will change too much at the moment from my perspective.
Well, it's only 5 points of difference. I wouldn't really change it. I wouldn't be looking at Moraes for Port Adelaide. I'd lead it, if anything. Yeah. And the other thought is you go, Ollie Lord's had 1 touch, 1 mark, 1 kick.
Yeah, but he's structurally important.
That's the thing. As soon as you take him off, then
Georgiades is the only one.
He's playing 3-on-1, arguably.
Yeah, he can stand up. Rossdale Holmes, SA's most trusted fixed-price contract. No hidden costs because trust is a must. And it's the Crows, 7-8-50. It's half-time. Just about the start of the third quarter to 7-3-45. Both teams now have settled into their rhythm and what they want to do. The coaches have spoken to them at half-time. It's now who can listen and do it longer for harder, and that's what we're going to hope to see from both these teams. It's going to go down the wire, one senses. 5AA footy is thanks to the Fleurieu Milk Company. Here's Timmy.
Yes, we're about to get back into the second half. Very interesting first half. Not the breakneck speed that you expect from a showdown.
I think it's going to go up a gear this quarter.
And we'll see what happens, whether they continue the same style or whether they go for it. Byzantini versus O'Brien. O'Brien wins this one, slapped it down beautifully into the path of Dawson, who got a little soccer off the ground, but at half back there was a mistake made just below the knees, and goes Rozee really hard. No free kick given, and centre half forward for the Adelaide Crows. It'll be a ball up. Second half, 5AA football, thanks to Fleurieu Milk
Zach
Company.
Taylor's got the job to him, Rowie, to be honest. He went and put his, it's a forward 50 stoppage, and he went and put his arm across him.
I wonder if he's ever done that before. Miller overcooked it. Gee, well done by Rozee. Got it on the outside to Butts, who gave it to Ollie Wines, who was so strong. Then he handballed on the out to Burton, didn't want it, slapped it forward. Riley O'Brien tackled his man. There's a ball up on the outer side, a half-back flank. Do you like that call?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah, because I think Neil Bullen's more chance of getting goal side and scoring than what Zach Taylor is.
Yeah, I agree. Sockered by Dawson. In there's Peatling. He gets tackled. Butts gets the ball on the outside. Bergen overrun it. Gee, socket again.
Oh, that was
I reckon that was by Rozee. Sam Powell-Pepper couldn't get it, so he gave it off to Worrell, who gave it to Miller, who gave it back to Worrell, who goes forward. Big fist by Radagalier out the back. Fogarty runs onto it. Sid as well.
No.
Over Reddick. Keys gets it and has a shot at goal. Don't tell me he's kicked it. No, it's out of bounds. What's happened? He actually kicked that. Oh, there's a free kick. It's going to come back to Sin. Oh, you're kidding. He kicked goal of the year in Eddie Bett's pocket.
Is it for a push in the back?
I
trying to
pick it up.
On the replay, Treaders. Yeah, I was looking at more.
I was watching
goal of the year.
Here it is here. I think it's Darcy Fogarty. Jeez, there's not much in that.
No, he took it off.
There is good give by... It was Drew, went to Butters. Butters got it back. He'll try and draw the play and give it off again. Little drop pass looking for Horn Francis. Horn Francis marks at 55 out. Just stops into the pocket and finds Byrne-Jones. Oh, he got dropped. Gee, that was late.
Who's Byrne-Jones getting away from? I reckon it's Miller.
Yeah, they got burnt. Oh, wow. As Byrne-Jones just kicks it out on the full. He tried to hit Powell-Pepper.
Oh, well, don't do what you can't do.
Well, that's poor execution. You can't keep up 0 steps.
Correct.
How good you are. That handball receive is worrying me from a Crows perspective, Rowie. No doubt about that. As soon as Port Adelaide get that motion with that forward handball, they're all at sea, Adelaide.
Yep. So Burton tried to get a handball through. Keys got it. The scramble here where Port Adelaide have been really good. Rozee, Butters, Dawson, handball on the outside. Butters got another one. Gets the ball forward. Finlayson. Coming in was Michael Lenny. Darcy Byrne-Jones again. It's gone out of bounds. Keane sees it with Sam Powell-Pepper. Their desperation's just a little bit better than the Crows at the moment with those little scramble gets, aren't they?
And it's the little one percenters.
And I reckon it's getting greasier at ground level.
There's a
few blokes slipping over, soccer in the footy. It's going to be played on the ground.
Yeah, the Stewie Jew's in. Riley O'Brien slaps the ball out to no one in particular. Great smother off the boot by Rankin on Ollie Wines. Handball to no one. He's just a bit out of sorts. Gets the ball back now. Gets his ribs taken out. Darcy Byrne-Jones gave a little one to McEntee, goes forward. And guess who again? Worrell takes a really good defensive McGain real estate mark of the day.
Well, those numbers, Timmy, we gave you on Tuesday. This is why Porter in the game. It's 71 all contested possession and the ground ball absolutely even, particularly on the loose ball, which is their ranked 18th.
Well, the kick went out to half back for the Crows and it was punched over the boundary line, so it'll be a throw in on that outer side.
It's funny as a coach, isn't it, Timmy? I mean, you've coached as well, so as you, Rory. Around, you know, like if you concentrate on something and say this is what this team does really well, you can always just heighten the expectation and get it done on the basis of that's what that team wants to do. We need to take it away.
Sin again, a long ball. Horn Francis comes out at it. A lot of players attack it. Man, Curve is very good. Just got it to Worrell. Worrell on his left. Just missed the target. It's just going over the head. Horn Francis making a contest. It goes over the boundary line and just looking a little frustrated at his lack of opportunities so far. Just keep persisting, young man. It will come.
Again, the method around that contest out there with a player on the outside, whether it's Farrell, whether it's Connor Rozee, they're just doing a terrific job. And you're right, Campo. Zach Taylor right up Connor Rosee's clacker. Gee, coming through was Horn Francis, Butters, Ollie Wines, all the stars are getting a bit of a fumble. Gee, Horn Francis fumbled. Farrell's got it, gets rock and rolled. Great tackle by Rochelle. And they've moved it 20 metres forward, and there's a ball up now on the centre wing grandstand side. 7-3 Port to 7-8 Crows, 50, margin 5. Cheapest chip scoreboard. Riley O'Brien slapped it. Visentini couldn't get it. Ollie Wines hacks the ball forward. There's a one-on-one. Out the back was Richards. Even better was Finlayson. Couldn't quite get his hand on it. Well done, Laird. Well done also, Miller. Gave it. And there's a free kick. The umpire off the ball is giving it away to Keane to Finlayson.
He gives away some free kicks, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah, well, he's an Irishman.
I call it the reverse
Coleman
Treaders, and he's in the top 5 in the AFL. That's giving goals away. That's what he is. He absolutely does.
Well, whatever it was, you don't want it. He delivers beautifully to Bergman.
That is perfect kick.
It was a great kick.
If it goes a quarter of a second earlier, that's an intercept mark. And it's had enough weight on it for the leading forward in Bergman.
How's the lead up by Bergman? There's not a third he can't play in.
Well,
and
what was the skipper doing? The skipper was running off, so what did Bergman do?
Has he signed again? Timmy and Treaders, did he sign again, or he still hasn't signed?
No, he hasn't signed. So
he's going up as we speak.
He's dead in front. Butters. 55 out. He kicks the ball. And I reckon he might have hooked it. Just hooked it to the left. So 7-4-46 plays 7-8-50. It is a 4-point ball game. Cheapest chip scoreboard. Now, if you want to live cheaper with cheapest chips, shop in store or online now.
Kickable goals from Finlayson, Georgiades for set shots, and now Bergman.
And historically, Campo, he leaves it very late.
Does he?
Yeah, he does he? Margin 4. Goes forward. Burton flew. Ball on the ground. Saligo does a handle on the outside to Nankervis. Held it a bit long to Peatling. Peatling to Riley O'Brien. Burton's got him, and here come Port. Drew. He gave it up to Visentini. Mead was strong in the tackle. Back to Burton. The pressure's great. Big kick there in the end by Jones, and I reckon that's going to be marked again by Worrell in that right-hand back pocket. He's telling people to lead for him. Crows are a little bit in the gun at the moment. I reckon Port Adelaide started this quarter so well.
Got the score on the board, though. Ball hits the deck. Lockie Jones played for a free. Out the back it goes. Taylor's trying to put the pressure on. Rozee was right there with him. Ball goes over the boundary line as they just tap it out. Well, so here, a centre wing throw in.
Sorry, Timmy.
That's a shocking.
I thought he might play it because he just pushed it. He got word in his ear there, that umpire, because I watched him come, and I reckon they got it from somewhere else.
Yep, upstairs, and they said they weren't doing it, liars. Yours, Timmy.
Okay. Saligo can't quite take it clean enough. He dishes it out, but it went to Burton. Burton underground to Radicalea was not good because it was right underneath his toes.
This will be a good contest.
Oh, well done there, Sam Powell-Pepper. He ran through pretty hard, but it ricocheted out to Malera. Malera onto Nankervis. Nankervis switches it around, and underneath this ball is Radicalea. Takes the safety of the mark on his chest.
I tell you what, for RA Insurance stats, Timmy, this is wise. +8 contested possession, +4 ground ball, and +4 in uncontested, and the handball receives +6. They're
great mark by Visentini. RA Insurance stats. Sam Powell-Pepper to Richards. He's got the overlap to Finlayson. Finlayson's playing a game. Don't worry about that. Left leg finds a player. Darcy Byrne-Jones outside 50. Can go to Sam Powell-Pepper. What a tackle. Smothered by Worrell. And it's out of bounds. 45 metres around from that right-hand post. He's having a ripper. A bit of push and shove from Sam Powell-Pepper to Hinge. And Hinge gets a free kick. Can the umpires please stay out of it? This is a showdown.
That's terrible. Two blokes shoving each other in the sternum. They give a free kick for it.
Terrible. Keane, he's got the ball at full back. He now just lobs one up the middle. Rozee underneath this takes the mark. Good courage going back with the flight.
Powell-Pepper's free.
They're all over him.
And it's 50. It's Rankin into the zone, and he stood there.
They are all over him at the moment.
Is it Rankin or Rochelle?
Well, everyone's going to Rankin.
That's Rankin.
Butters, just get out of the way. Let him kick a goal first, mate.
Yeah, don't.
Seriously.
He needs to lift Rankin.
Fight when you've got the ball.
He's been poor. He has.
Let's have a look again.
Nah, it was Josh Rochelle.
Josh Rochelle straight past. But also Rankin stood there as well. It's not a good spot to be, lads.
See, if it's a Rochelle, that's... I don't know how you play that, because he's in there.
Yeah, that's right. He was
already
actually
there.
in there trying to get out. Yeah, he hasn't come from behind.
No, let's have a look. Rozee dead in front. He chips it over the top of the head and he wants to fire the crowd up. Connor Rozee, after an enormous first half, has come back out and kicked a goal to get Port Adelaide underway in the third term. So they'll go to 8-4-52. Crows are 7-8-50, a 2-point ball game. Cheapest chip scoreboard.
What about a captain's knock he's playing?
He's playing a fair game.
Well,
Don't
it's
worry
not
about
just
that.
him, Rowie. Port have come to play. They've come out of the change rooms ready to go. They are absolutely thumping Adelaide in every stat possible on the RA Insurance stats. And the end result, 8-3 inside 50s. Adelaide don't even look like getting the ball inside forward 50 at the moment. They are all over them.
I still reckon they paid it against Rankin.
It was with Shelley.
Okay. Pure
He's abused the umpire too.
Pure Tap special comments.
Dirty Nicks gets out of his chair.
Camp reality. Well, he's a bit concerned. He looked a bit worried. This was a showdown, was the unlosable before it for everyone. Margins too.
Expectation again, Rowie.
Finlayson won it. Finlayson goes forward. Don't worry, it's a long way to go. Horn Francis, but they're on top of the ground at the moment. Miller needs to get the ball on the up. He does. Handball's off to Peatling. Tried to do too much. And that is holding the ball. And Connor Rozee again. He is having one hell of a game. Another inside 50, out on the lead, almost taking the mark. Crumbing Sam Powell-Pepper. Here they come. Well, they're not here, they come. They're here. Sam Powell-Pepper at full pace. That was the goal of the day, and a Beechwood Holmes won at that, and that's his second.
Wow. All over him. And we spoke about, well, there's two words, Timmy and Treaders, that Adelaide is around maturity. Let's see how mature they are now, because they've come into a game expecting to probably win on the basis of what your opposition did the week before. They haven't really played at the top of their game. Full credit to Port Adelaide. The other word is expectation. They had it last year. They've come in again with the expectation that they should win this game, and they're faltering. That's essentially what's happening. Port Adelaide are all over them right now.
And it's coming off the back of just work rate, isn't it?
Well, it's contest. It's contest, it's work rate, it's energy, it's all those things, Treaders, as you know. As a player and a coach, you've got to bring week in and week out.
Cheapest chip scoreboard, 8 points of difference. Riley O'Brien tapped it down. He gets tackled by Horn Francis. He threw out the handball. It was good. Good tackle by Butters. It was a TJN tough tackle on Peatling. It was enormous.
Well, that should be holding the ball, because essentially he tried to fend off.
He did.
So here it is in the middle, picked up by Butters. He got it out to Horn Francis. Horn Francis now tries to drop it inside 50, missed the target. Ollie Lord took it, but he can't get his hands free. It's another good tackle by Horn Francis this time. He wraps up. I think that's coming. I've seen a lot of him, though.
Clearance is 7-1.
Yep, well, they're all over him. They are absolutely all over him. It's Port by 8 points. Finlayson's having a game. Horn Francis couldn't get there. Richards did. Kicked out of the pack, Cummins. And playing in front of his man was Burgoyne. Gave it on the outside to Burton. Burton goes into the pocket. Horn Francis's mark.
He was all standing around. Have a look at all the Adelaide players. They're all pointing, going, who's who?
He was hailing a cab in the forward pocket.
Well, I reckon it's either Jake Saligo, because he's standing in there with no one on him. Jordan Dawson's trying to get an answer. He's got his hands out.
Well, they need to lift the leaders. Jason Horn-Francis, left-hand pocket, Riverbank stand, perfect weather, showdown 57, had no right to win, and the Stars put one through. No, it's a point. Wow. Good, they've let the Crows in.
That could have just broken their back a little bit.
9 points the margin Port's way. They are playing unbelievable team footy this quarter.
Worrell will bring the ball back in. Been holding up pretty well on his left. He comes out, Members' side. Finlayson punches the ball back in. Ground level. Richards below his knees was able to pick it up, but Rozee steps through a couple. Gets a quick boot to ball. Hinge is there, trying to win the ball. At ground level, Ollie Wines fighting hard as well. Hinge takes it to the boundary line. Is that deliberate as well? That's what the crowd are calling for. And they were filthy on the Connor Rozee one that was paid earlier in the day. But cheapest chip scoreboard sees Port Adelaide 9-point leaders.
Boundary throw in right in front of us. 5AA footy for Fleurieu Milk Company. Vicentini's been really good against Riley O'Brien. Gets the ball out. Little give. Now to Farrell. Tried to do too much. Taylor now to Dawson. Dawson goes long with his left leg. The pressure from Connor Rozee for that tackle was the reason that Burton Martin comes out to Bergman, his direct opponent. The Crows need to come to play. They haven't. The Port Adelaide has shown them how to win with team football.
Well, they got a sign up down there, Rowie. I don't know if Sammy Daddo can see what's on the other side, but it would be red alert. I would have thought at this stage there'd be a lot of red lights in Matty Nix's coach's box right now.
Keane went to punch. He could have marked. Rankin with the ball. Not a great kick. Goes to Berg. Burgoyne gets it to Powell-Pepper. Powell-Pepper on the outside of his right boot just panicked a little bit. Worrell was playing goalkeeper and he was able to stop it. Then kick a high ball out towards the flank. Oh, Horn Francis nearly took it. Drew overran it. In goes Horn Francis really hard. Head in the hole stuff. And you've got to love that.
Have a look at desperation. That's great.
Port's desperation is all over the Crows. Been very disappointing this quarter. Horn Francis, free kick. Vicentini gave it to Riley O'Brien. Handballs to Rankin. He's been very disappointing for a big game player. Phil Thorpe's been terrific, but well done. A great mark out the back by Lear. Let's give that a McGain real estate mark today. There's the turnover by Cummins. Cummins needs to go quick. Now he goes short. He gets the ball short. Saligo's been quiet. Nankervis wants it. Goes that way. This is the kick. Put it on the top of Thilthorpe's head. He's had 10 marks in the first half. Cools it quiet. Now goes to Rankin. Rankin's outside 50. Goes inside 50. Puts it to the edge of the square. Thilthorpe should mark and he does. He put it to his favoured side. It's called footy IQ. And Thilthorpe was all over Radicalier and he's marked right alongside that left-hand post.
It was Burton.
Was it Burton in the end? Okay.
That's the mismatch.
But it was the Alir and Radicalier. I've said you never, ever take that kick. You can't do that kick. You always go long down the line.
Well, you can take it, Timmy, but it's more a 20-metre kick, not a 35-metre kick. That's the one that costs you because the players pick it up too quick.
It's just not good enough.
Thilthorpe's got his third, cuts the margin to 3. Cheap as chips. Live cheaper than cheap as chips. Shop and store are online now. Margin 3 points. Port's way.
Well, Thilthorpe's been starved of opportunity, hasn't he, this term? And all of a sudden he now gets the first opportunity in quite some time. Kicks his third goal. But I'm with you, Timmy. That kick, you've got to go the middle, but it can't be the long, penetrating hang time kick. And that's exactly what he did. Alir did great to work the 2-on-1 and turn over the footy on centre wing. But you just don't want to give it back when you've had great field possession because the entries this term were 12-3 until then.
And they, of course, score because it's a nice open forward line.
We had a chat this week, Timmy, and you said when the ball's in the middle of you and me, I want it more than you.
Yeah.
This quarter, Port want it more than the Crows.
Absolutely.
Would you agree with that?
No, 100%.
It's making me spew up.
Isn't it funny, just a simple thing like that in our game, with all the stats and all the stuff that we go on with the analysis, that's all it is.
That's all it is.
That's what it comes down to when you really want something bad enough.
And then Port are only 3 points up.
Correct. So Burgoyne
deserved to be a bit more.
He kicks down the line. Byrne-Jones working hard to get there. Couldn't quite get there. Mead does. He gets tackled, wrapped up in a very good tackle indeed by Laird. And that's a TJM tough tackle.
A lot of Crows players are down.
Yeah, they
Campo.
are. Well, the midfield's been spanked, to be honest.
Spanked, absolutely
Which
spanked.
has always been their issue.
Yep, big kick by Burgoyne. I'll tell you what, if Worrell wasn't in this team, the Crows would be down by 5 goals. Here comes Horn Francis. Big long kick, big mark needed. Oh, gee, Drew was there. Cummins as well. A big fist that's gone out of bounds alongside that left-hand post. 8 minutes of play left in the third quarter. Zambero clock, Port Adelaide, 9-5-59. Crows, 8-8-56. That margin is 3 points.
Isn't it frustrating as a coach? You see, what's the difference between Port and the Bulldogs last week and Adelaide v Carlton? I mean, the tail's just been flipped on its head.
Hasn't it?
Byrne-Jones has kept it in. He's then have a snap at goal. Don't tell me he's kicked this.
Wow.
No, he hasn't. It's just gone to the right for a behind.
He's been great, Darcy Byrne-Jones, for mine. He's top 3 players on the ground, to be fair.
So 9-6-60 plays 8-8-56. 4 points on the cheapest chip scoreboard. Port Adelaide.
Can't get it out, Adelaide, can they?
Okay, Worrell to Hinge. Hinge comes up. Walker needs to mark a mark. Almost gets the mark. Then gets a hammer kick forward. Jones is back. He read that brilliantly. Now kicks the ball forward. Terrible to Dan Curtin. We've got it back to Walker. Walker will go long with his right leg. Rochelli's there. So too Radagalair. Rochelli's there. Slapped on there. Almost lead by Darcy to Alex Neal-Bullen. Good football by Vicentini to Jones. They just wanted more. Burgoyne. Oh, missed tackle. Gets the handle out. Big missed tackle. Berry's been put on. Who for? Out goes Jones. Has a kick around his body. And Dawson will mark her. It's out of bounds on the full. So Berry's on. Yeah. Who's off? The sub's been pulled.
Sammy, he down
Dan Curtin, Rowie. Dan Curtin's moved to the back of the bench. Sam Berry on.
Wow, there you go.
Sam Daddo on the boundary line.
You're
there.
2 from 2.
Vicentini marks one.
Blind Squirrel got another one.
You're wasted up here.
Gives it to Rozee. Rozee goes short. Oh, and he finds Butters there. Butters got pushed over.
Hey, Timmy, he looks hurt here on that he's grimacing a lot on that left shoulder.
Who is?
Zach Butters.
Rightio. He'll be right. Don't worry. I don't care about grimacing. He misses the target. Went over the top of 2 players' heads. A few mistakes being made.
Quick what a
hands.
handball.
Inside to Peatling. Peatling's kick, not great, but Fogg is able to recover. He gets onto it. He kicks it out wide. That is a magnificent kick, and Keys can't get out the way of it.
Well, it's 2 kicking areas. It's cost you, Timmy and Treaders. One from Malia and then the other one from Zach Butters just there.
Yeah, a couple of really bad turnovers. Crows, they've struggled to go inside 50 this term, but when they do, they score.
They've always been efficient like that.
4 points the difference, and Keys can put them in front.
You happy with that Curtin off Berry on?
Struggled with.
I think that's fine. Yep.
So
you've got Taylor. Sorry, Timmy. You now got Zach Taylor doing a job on Rozee. So
Keys comes in. He stabs at it really hard, but he kicks the goal.
He's reliable now, isn't he?
He's pretty happy with it. That's a second goal for him. And the Crows get back in front in a quarter that they've not owned. So they go to 9-8-62. Port Adelaide 9-6-60. Cheapest chip scoreboard.
That's why there's plenty to go in this game.
Yeah, it's frustrating as a Port supporter, you know, from that perspective. They've dominated this quarter. They should They should be probably another at least 3 goals ahead, to be honest. You know, Adelaide are not going to go away. We know that, but this is the time that they need to strike, though, Treaders and Tim, because the momentum of the game will swing in Adelaide's way at some stage. Maybe not the rest of this quarter, but it will in that last quarter. But all the ingredients, if you Ken Hinkley and Josh Carr, you're going, boys, this is the blueprint.
You would be happy. Remember, they haven't won a last quarter all year.
That's true.
They're going to have to win one this week. 9-6 to 9-8, margin 2. Back in the middle, 6.5 minutes of play left. Riley O'Brien, Vicentini. O'Brien taps it, tamming through as Peatling, probably been one of their better ones. Berry on his non-preferred left, goes inside 50, Walker behind. Lear. What a mark! McGain Real Estate mark of the day. He powered past Walker with real pace, now gets it out to Burgoyne. God, that was a good mark.
Burgoyne at half back. He's looking inboard, but I think he wants to go the short pass and finds Wines. Wines quickly plays on, gives to Jones, takes his time and then wobbles one forward. This is the difference going inside 50. Lord tried to handle, missed the target. Ground level, Crows are able to pick it up.
That's a clever kick.
I think it was Rochelli. It was nice underground to Neal-Bullen. Long handball. Whoop, dodge, weave. And that was Keys getting taken high. And he'll get a free kick.
Don't mind it.
But you see the difference in Port Adelaide's entry to Crows. Ugly, to say the least.
Why are they being taxed?
I'm not sure. He goes long. Nearly hits Neal-Bullen. Neal-Bullen tries to get hold of it, but it ended up Bergman cutting that off and over the boundary line. 40 metres away from the Crows' goal. It'll be thrown in. They lead by 2 points. Cheapest chip scoreboard.
Yeah, time left in the quarter. 5 minutes, just hitting into time on. Beautiful weather.
Is that
Adelaide
Canberra clock? It is.
Yes, it is. It is showdown 57. It's not disappointing. Vicentini tapped it. Rankin overcooked it. So too Fogarty. Hambled in close now to Farrell. Farrell kicked around his body to the outer side. Get under that if you can. Oh, gee, Laird did with a good crumb. Back to Peatling. Peatling to Riley O'Brien. Riley O'Brien to Laird. Tackled by Drew. Gee, that was a massive tackle. Hambled underneath again. Tries to find Michael Ennie. Laird again tries to get it over the top. Here comes Keys on his leg. Kicked it straight up and down. Get under that if you're brave enough. He did. Good ball. Down on the ground was Horn Francis. He's got tackled. Game on now, Campo. Game on.
I tell you what, Willem Drew might be looked at. I'm just saying that now, Timmy. From Rowie for Monday, he may get looked at on that tackle with Rory Laird. Very lucky.
Quick kick out. along the ground. Who's going to Lord below his knees?
Great
Pretty
take.
good. Dug it out, but it's going to be an awkward ball, and it just sat there beautifully. Nan Curvis ran through the line of it, gave it to Laird. Laird goes into the pocket. It's a one-on-one. They normally win these, and they do again through fog on Farrell.
On a big mismatch.
Gee, what
Kick
would you do
favourite
without
side.
the 3 tools of the Crows? They're keeping them in the game. Last week they couldn't draw you a footy.
That's
Could
right.
they?
No.
Well, it's fair. It's probably 2 of them, isn't it? Phil Thorp.
Yeah,
Walker
and
hasn't
Fogg.
had an influence.
Not really, no.
So,
But you can add that in, though, Treaders, as you know. He's taking someone up the ground to allow those mismatches to happen, so it's a team effort.
so Fogarty. This one from here earlier, but he's normally a good kick. This time, he makes amends. And kicks the goal for the Adelaide Crows to put them further ahead. They'll go to 10-8-68 to 9-6-60. Cheapest chip scoreboard. Adelaide Crows in front.
Well, last 3 goals to Adelaide, and that's off the back of, as you said, Campo earlier, 2 turnover kicks to Aliir and Butters. When Port had total momentum, missed opportunities in front of goal, Adelaide get a bit of field position, and all of a sudden, repeated entries, and then find a mismatch inside forward 50.
Well, and for all the numbers, Adelaide are winning the quarter by 3 points. Like, it's just sometimes not fair, the game, is it? You know, when you dominate. But you've got to take your chances.
You've got to be clean enough.
And we spoke about momentum. It's bloody hard, you know, so, you know, both teams now, not long to go, 3 minutes to go. You know, if Port can just kick another one and make it 2 points, they get to reset and just see what happens.
Cheapest chip scoreboard, margin 8, Adelaide's way. Been an absorbing duel this quarter. Absolutely loved it. 10-8 to 9-6. Here we go. Riley O'Brien, Vicentini steps over the mark, chaps the ball down. Run onto that if you can. Drew did, gave on the up now to Butters. He goes long with his right leg. Get under that if you can. Keane flies up. Finlayson's there. Crumbing needed. G. Butts panicked. Well done by Miller. It got tackled immediately and 30 metres out from Port's goal. There'll be a ball up. I'd love to know the RAA insurance stats for centre square breaks. We'll get them at three-quarter time. Vicentini taps it. Goes towards the boundary line. Big tackle on Butters. I reckon that was by Peatling. A big TJM. Tagging it to himself with Saligo. It's out of bounds 35 metres around from that right-hand post.
10-8 Rowie in favour of Port, but they've kicked 3 goals to Port Adelaide out of there to Adelaide's 1. So they've certainly had their way.
Throw in. Right forward pocket for Port Adelaide. There's 3 minutes left in this third term on the Zambrero clock. It's the feel-good Mexican. Zambrero thrown in. Zantini drops it down. Butters attacked it hard. He got hit hard.
Wow. Was that high?
It was, absolutely.
The first one was definitely high.
And Butters is saying, what about me?
Your favourite umpire missed it.
Yeah, the quiff.
In he goes. Horn Francis down low. Over the boundary line he goes.
You wouldn't have a bother about a quiff if you don't have any hair. You know what a quiff is? It's about a haircut where you put your hand up and you go, quiff.
I don't think that's a thing. Anyway,
you just make up shit all the time.
He does indeed. I think it's like the Brill cream. The Brill cream wave at the back. Anyway, here's Drew. Left it behind. Butters got hold of it, but he was tackled well. Sligo on the outside of the right boot. Big high kick. A lot of people went up. Nobody really looked at the ball. Well done. Radigalia. Byrne-Jones. He's tackled. Who's that? Drew. Drew got out of there somehow. Onto the right boot. He hooks it around. Finlayson battling with 2-on-1. He did okay. Richards trying to push it forward. And it's stolen by Horn Francis. Around his body. If he kicks it.
He's kicked it.
My God.
That is unbelievable.
Incredible stuff by Horn Francis. Bounced off a couple and hooked it back for an incredible goal to inspire Port Adelaide. 10-6-66. Crows 10-8-68. Beechwood Holmes. Goal of the night. You've got some competition, Sam Powell-Pepper.
Well, how can you not get excited as a teammate when you see Zach Butters and then Jason Horne-Francis just put their body on the line? That's just an unbelievable finish.
That's a drop punt too. It's not a snap.
No.
But full credit to Finlayson. Much maligned at times.
But
he
that
was
was good
probably
contact.
3-on-1, brings the ball to ground. Horne-Francis goes to tackle, then strips the ball from the tackle. And then, he made the rest up, and too few can do that in a competition.
Oh, wow.
That was a Beechwood Holmes goal of the day, won't be beaten. That was outstanding. Jason Horne-Francis. But that typified Port Adelaide. Their 1%ers, their grit, their want, their desire for those scramble balls. They've won them all day and they only trail by 2 points. Back in the middle they go again. Drew gets it out. Vicentini will run onto it. Cummings needs to lift. Couldn't quite get it. He did too. Oh, good little give on the up. Miller to Riley O'Brien, who had to soccer it. Out on that outer side wing was Keys. He fumbled it, but got to Nankervis. He goes forward, a one-on-one. Radikalia, you brilliant. Just got a fist in. Taylor Walker's getting frustrated and it's out of bounds on that outer side between wing and half forward. 66 to 68. Crows by 2. What a game, Timmy!
It certainly is. Delivering everything.
8 and a goal for the term. Needed to lift at half-time, and he's done that.
He has. Drew taps it over his head. Did well. Picked up by Farrell. Just bombs one into 50. Players just sitting underneath it. Laird, he marked it all on his own while the other big blokes were wrestling each other. He goes up the middle. Peatling's on his own. Peatling can go out wide. Keys has made some space. He finds it on the wing. He's running now. He's going to draw. No, he ends up kicking. And Lear goes up, punches it forward. There's a lot of Crows down front and centre, but they sort of fight one another for the ball and left it behind. Port Adelaide stole it. So Butters gave it out. Wines, a bit untidy. Over the boundary line she goes. They were claiming deliberate. If you pin Rozee, you know what I mean?
No, because they're saying textuals booed at it, kicked it over the line.
To make sure it went over the line. Deliberate. Just like Rozee did.
That is deliberate. Well done, Quiff. Boundary throw in. Riley O'Brien, they've had a good duel, Vicentini and he. Slaps the ball forward. Ollie Wines runs on it with Nankervis. His big, strong body sees it over the line.
Minute left on the Zambroa clock.
And a minute left, the boundary throw in on the outer side.
Jason Hornfront, he just reminds me so much of a young Dangerfield, like in terms of just being able to influence the game, just with sheer power and aggression and want to get involved in the game. They just push a button and they just bring everyone along with them.
Yep, they're next level. He's an absolute barometer. Miller had tried to get the ball, slapped it out. Peatling's there. Probably the Crows' best, and you want people like Dawson to be the best, not Peatling. Ollie Wines, terrific to Drew. Back to Ollie Wines, outer side wing. Ollie kicked it on his left leg. Butts tries to get under it, almost a mark to Ollie Laird. Oh, well done by Berry. Berry back to Berry. Berry in the middle of the ground was going to bounce, but goes with his right leg, finds Walker. Walker holds it, well done. Nothing to kick to. Now he can to this far side. Great vision, great switch, and Cummings is marked. Turn around, you clown!
He's talking to the...
He was talking to the bloke on the how long to go. Who gives a stuff? He had a player out, and it was Worrell and Michaelani, and Michaelani's filthy.
Well, the bench is telling him to have a shot because it's inside 30 seconds.
Can he
7 to
make
go
the distance?
Now.
No. If he doesn't make the distance, I'm going to go down there and pull his britches off.
Oh, start walking. Played on. Didn't get the kick away in time.
I reckon that's three-quarter time. I'm going to go for a little walk because I'm going to pull someone's britches down. Size 28s. 10-6, 66 Port. Adelaide 10-8, 68. Here's the question that we'll do after the break to Timmy and Treaders. Can Port win their last quarter of the year? Because you're going to need to by 2 points to win. FIVEAA footy, thanks to the FIVEAA Milk Company.
Buy cheapest chips, live cheaper with cheapest chips. Shop hot buys and cheap everyday deals in store or online now.
AFL Live on 5AA.
If you want to know what's going on at the Port Adelaide Football Club, listen in to the 5AA Sports Show. Each week, Rowie and Timmy G chat with the players and coaches in the know. Thanks to Sharman Shelving. Sharman have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road.
Hearing crunching or rustling noises in your home? Call your team at Murray's today and get 20% off visual termite inspections and rodent treatments for ultimate peace of mind. For 20% off today.
No worries. With the team from Murray's.
Go to murraypestcontrol.com.au.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles famous once a year May Mayhem is the biggest and best ever. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. That's right, spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. Don't miss the biggest and best National Tiles May Mayhem event of all time. So rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. This May, we're proud to be celebrating 40 years of doing real estate differently in South Australia. Since 1985, we've remained family-owned and fiercely independent, with innovation, integrity and people always at the heart of what we do. While the industry's changed, our values haven't, and we're incredibly grateful to our clients and community for their trust and support. Visit toop.com.au. Toop and Toop. 40 years of family, innovation and integrity.
Check this out.
Real-time video with a real-time report on my car.
There's the problem, there's the quote, and here you go, approved.
So good. Totally transparent instant SMS approval and Automasters pay later options.
AutoCam, new from Automasters.
Cup of tea, dear. The kettle's on. Would you like a cup of tea, love?
Cup of tea, dear.
What?
If you're concerned about hearing loss for a loved one, book an appointment with Can Do Hearing. CanDoHearing.com.au. That sounds better.
Can you tune that thing, please? Now that made a big difference. If your outdoor area is out of tune with the rest of your fantastic home, get in touch with Big Difference Home Improvements. Outdoor blinds, verandas, pergolas, carports, or a stunning timber deck. The Big D team will give you a free measuring quote and you'll love their passion and service. Don't just make a difference, make a big difference. Visit bigdifference.com.au.
Steinborner has done it again. The Jack T9 Ute has landed at Jack Motors in Gawler. Enjoy a 5-star ANCAP safety rating, 7-year unlimited K warranty, 7-year roadside assist and 7-year capped price servicing. The Jack T9 impresses with a turbocharged diesel engine, 4x4 dual-range transmission, 3-tonne towing capacity and can easily handle a full-size Aussie pallet with 1,045 kilo payload. All this from $45,980 drive away. Jack Motors, it's well worth the trip. Gawler, Barossa and Clare or at gawlerjackmotors.com.au.
This quarter brought to you by Big Difference Home Improvements. Don't just make a difference, make a big difference to your outdoor entertaining area.
Zips it over the top of the head and he wants to fire the crowd up. Connor Rozee, after an enormous first half.
Running Sam Powell-Pepper.
Here they come! Well, they're not here, they come! They're here!
Puts it to the edge of the square. Thorp should mark it, he does. Thorp's got his third, cuts the margin of 3.
Keys comes in, he stabs at it really hard, but he kicks the goal. The Crows get back in front in a quarter that they not own. He's stolen by Horn-Francis around his body. If he kicks it,
he's kicked it.
My goal! Incredible stuff by Horn-Francis. Bounced off a couple and hooked it back for an incredible goal to inspire Port Adelaide.
This is 5AA football.
Yeah, for all those stats, Port won the quarter by 3. The Crows are in front by 2. Rostow Homes, SA's most trusted fixed price contracts. No hidden costs because trust is a must. Let's go to our boundary rider, Sam Daddo.
Thanks, Rowie. Just looking at the Port Adelaide team, you guys up there might be able to see the sub may have been pulled, but for the Crows, recapping that one, Dan Curtin came off for Sam Berry. It's a clean bill of health so far on the CLK injury report as well. But I'll keep you up to date with the status of the Port sub.
Thank you very much for that CLK legal injury report. Personal injury claim for expert compensation advice. Visit clklegal.com.au. Sam Daddo on our boundary line tonight. Well, it's been almost like a chess game tonight, feeling each other out, making sure they weren't going to dominate. 10-6, 66, 10-8, 68.
It's not done. I've just watched them come to the bench. I reckon it might be McEntee.
Subbed out?
Yeah.
For Marias.
Yeah, I reckon that's the move.
Okay.
Yeah, Treaders, you're spot on, mate.
Thank you for that. We're about to begin the last term.
Yeah, I just feel there might be moments, or a couple of moments for Isaac Rankin. Hasn't been his day, but as we say, Timmy, for FIVEAA Milk Company, he can be your moment.
Can be. Let's see what this last quarter of Showdown 57 can deliver. 2 points in it, Crows way. Ball goes down. Byzantini up high. Tries to get a second tap on it. People just fall over like 10 pins. Ball gets kicked onto the boot by Berry, I think it was. Picked up by Riley O'Brien. He just jams it on the boot. Jones came out to it. He was in front of Tex Walker, and Tex Walker tackled him, threw him away, and it'll be a ball up at centre half forward for the Crows.
Yeah, they lead by 2. Vicentini won it brilliantly to Butters. He overran it. Socket off the ground by Rozee. Does everything right. Sam Powell-Pepper met that brilliantly. And a big tackle from behind from Hinge. TJM tough tackle, and you can just see she's going to be a stoppage game. There's going to be a lot of give and take. Good work there. He got it through. Mead came off his line, so too did Cummings. Bergman behind his line. Socket off the ground by Mead. Oh, is that McEntee? Who was that? No, it was Boreas. It was. He just came on. Almost a handball missed by Sam Powell-Pepper. Hinge hit him in the head. No free kick. And the umpire comes in and says another ball up. So the fourth ball up for our insurance stats. We've only played a minute of this quarter.
On the Zambrero club. Again, Visentini got it down, but it socket off the ground. Who's going to meet it? They're waiting for each other. Left it behind. In goes Jones hard. He goes 3 times hard.
Oh, big ball.
Allowed Mead to come in and clean up. He kicks the ball to space. Who's going to run through the line of this? Zach Butters got absolutely crunched, and then he gets up, and then he turns it over. He does everything. Right and wrong. Out she goes, out of bounds. It'll be thrown in as Sam Berry gets back to his feet. Centre wing. That took a bit of air out of Zach, and he's got a little bit of a limp up as well, but he's as tough as old nails.
For someone so small to play so hard, he's amazing.
Yeah, Warren got him a beauty.
He needs to go and get his air back as Wines comes on to replace him. Oh, Saligo got it. Drew missed it. Ball's going to fall short. Diving was Fogg, but he missed the mark. Then Wines made a mistake.
On the full.
And he out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, it came off Taylor's foot. I reckon that's going to go to
Wines.
Ollie. So Ollie, centre wing grandstand side's got the free. 2-point margin. Zach Butters goes off, gets his calf up. It's only been 2 minutes. Ollie Wines just peels that forward. Oh, Dawson was outstanding. Saligo with the crumb on the outside of his boot. Taylor Walker got away from his man. Has a flying shot at goal, and it's going to miss to the near side. Phil Thorp was on a lead.
Well, it's the pressure of the game. Phil Thorp just needed to come back, and then Taylor Walker, he did, and then Taylor just said, no, I'm going to try and slot it. Pressure.
Don't mind that. He'd probably kick 9 of 10 of those.
Big difference, home improvement scoreboard. 3 points of difference, Adelaide Crows way. Farrell to bring the ball back into play for Port Adelaide. Kicks it long towards the wing. Visentini goes up, makes sure it punches over the boundary line and they can reset.
He's been all right.
He's been very good.
He's been okay. Don't worry about that.
He's a competitor, Tim.
He's a competitor. He'll have a dip. He's starting to fill out into that massive frame of his.
Well, 27 hit-outs apiece. They're both pretty even. It's probably just been the hits to advantage just slightly in favour of Visentini, 7-4.
Oh, wow. Big stat. That one. Cummings got wrapped up by Mead. Centre wing grandstand side. Another stoppage. So it'll break open. They just got to just keep at it. Both teams, 10-9 to 10-6. It's Crows by 3 points. Visentini wins this one. Bergman was there. Out the back was Horn Francis with Taylor. He's just too quick. How brilliant was that? Over the line, and he almost got thrown into a row 8 old Jay, didn't he? Centre wing grandstand side. He is too quick for Taylor. And he's got a set of wheels as well. He's an absolute star. 3-point margin. Boundary thrown again. Riley O'Brien, he fell over. Ball comes out the back. Visentini open hand slaps it. Sam Powell-Pepper's on the march. So too is Hinge. He dived over the line like it was a rugby union try. And no, that wasn't deliberate. And no, it's not a free kick. And yes, you can throw that in centre wing grandstand side.
3 points the difference. Big difference home improvement scoreboard. You can entertain all year round no matter the weather. Big difference home improvements. Thrown in. Ground level, Horn Francis trying to pick it up on his left. He hooks it around, he keeps it in play. Well done, Hinge on Wines. And Wines tackles Saligo. He gets through one tackle, hooks it around his body. In front, Walker gets to his feet. Hooks around on his left. Kicks a deep ball. Jones makes a big contest at ground level. Spits out. Burt gave it off to Farrell. Farrell now needs to find a target. He goes to a one-on-one out of side. That's Georgiades versus Butts. Butts did well, defeated him in the one-on-one. Got to win those battles. I think Laird now just gets a long kick in front. There's 2-on-1s, punch the ground at ground level. Rankin again. Here's Fogarty. He won't miss. He'll clean up, and he does.
Rankin's handball.
So, Fogarty.
I tell you what, Jordan Butts, take your hat off to him.
Yeah.
He's the one. You called it beautifully, Timmy. It was a one-on-one. It was a good lead by Georgiades, but Jordan Butts, he's not renowned for that. Like, he's not really a high possession player, but he's just a one-on-one competitor. When Murray comes back, he'll definitely take his spot because Murray's really important, but that's a great half win, you know, from that perspective around that middle of the ground, and then they just went back in. But, yeah, Isaac Rankin's crumb.
That crumb. Leave him down there now.
Yeah.
Leave him out of the cage.
I agree.
10-6, 66, 11-9, 75. Things happen when he's around the ball. Margin out to 9.
Georgiades will be filthy with himself then. He had the good position. He went to find body and missed, and Butts was really good just to not find that body. So he lost balance, and Butts did it brilliantly.
Finlayson in the ruck already. Good work, Riley O'Brien. Tapped it forward. Dawson came through. Well done, Richards. Got the ball forward. Darcy Byrne-Jones. He's given Miller an absolute bath. Chips the ball short. Finds a player, Ollie Wines. Probably too far out to score. Trail by 9 points, Port Adelaide. They've still got a couple of punches in them. So pulls the kick short. Oh, Georgiades on elite. That was a mark.
No.
That had to be a mark. Not paid. Taylor got it now to...
Oh, that's disgraceful.
That was disgraceful. I've lost for words. Alex Steele-Bullen chips it, and the skipper Rosee's got it. That was an absolute mark.
What's a shot at goal missed? Back in the pocket it goes. Who's front and centre there? They missed it. They overran it. That was Moraes.
They're not helping themselves, the ump. So I reckon we had the worst week last week. And then tonight's been horrible from both efforts, from both teams.
I remember
They're not up to it, mate.
I remember watching the Sydney game. He got stiffed a couple of times when he marked the ball and it hit the ground because he comes at such speed. When you hit the ground, the ball does pop out of your hand sometimes. But that was a clear mark.
It was a clear mark and a shot at goal. It's been disallowed. In the pocket, though. Wines gets it to Byrne-Jones, who snaps it around. It's just all Crows. It's just quite embarrassing that nobody's there but Butts.
Oh, that's 50.
Well, let off. Butts now will pull the kick to Miller. Miller has got it. He'll pull the kick to Michaelini.
This is what they've been so good at, Port. They haven't given these little ones. They've shut everything down.
Okay, now that's 3 marks to Fogarty. He's on the wing. Pulls the trigger, goes long. Riley O'Brien sets himself, and he's taken a screamer. Off to Rankin. Good night. 99s. Rankin, leave him in the forward 50. Great mark by Riley O'Brien. A team beats at home's goal of the day. That was a different mode, wasn't it, Campo, to get that through?
Well, it's because Port, to be fair, I mean, Adelaide took it, but it was what Port gave Adelaide. That's the difference. They were able to, early in the game, they didn't allow those little ones. If you remember, Port, you know, they were really close one-on-one. We mentioned it a couple of times, but then they just lowered their eyes. 2 or 3 uncontested mark chains. Then they went a little bit quicker to one-on-ones once the ground got equalised. And then once again, it was just, I'm not sure where Vicentini was, but Riley O'Brien.
No, it was Finlayson. Riley O'Brien got on his plates of meat and sprinted to the end of that. It was brilliant football.
Outstanding.
God, he's got to work,
It's
mate.
a fine line, isn't it, though? Like, you're giving away, what, leg rope?
Yeah.
That's it.
4 or 5 metres. You hit the uncontested mark, the ball stays in motion. It's almost impossible to defend.
So back in the middle, Crows by 15 points now. Big difference, home improved scoreboard, and they get another clearance. Tapped away. I'm not sure whether this Finlayson thing's right because Dawson just hits the target. That was well done by Burt. Sucking it off the ground and kicks a goal. That is a heartbreaker for Port Adelaide.
Lead him forward.
He's had a lean night, and that's what. But it's smart coaching. You know, whether they had that. Clearly they have, because they've said let's not worry about.
Why?
Because he's so dangerous ahead of the ball.
Why Finlayson in there now?
How good a tap was that by Riley O'Brien?
It's just ridiculous because that was a hit to advantage to Dawson. So easy. For Riley O'Brien must be licking his lips thinking, oh, you ripper, I can do this. Yeah. You don't do that.
Yeah, but to be fair, Timmy, that's on at ground level. You can't let Jordan Dawson, which is what Drew did, don't let him go side. Never against the second string ruck should you let someone come out the front of your stoppage. So that, for me, yes, he lost the tap, but he has to come off the ground at some stage. But your structure at ground level is the most pivotal.
Got to give him coverage. Got to give him coverage. Margin 21, back they go. Riley O'Brien, Finlayson. Coming through was Rochelle that time. Hambled on the outside, Butts. Love his game. Gave it to Ollie Wines. He goes forward. Big fist through the ball, Worrell. Another one of his best games. Miller had got the crumb. Gave it on the downside to Keane, who got the ball short. Lucky mark. It was in the end to Cummings, who goes shorter and finds Michaelini on the left-hand half-forward flank. Dawson's saying to Peatland, get out of my way because I can mark it one-on-one.
Well, Adelaide's now backing themselves in transition here because they know Port's getting tighter.
Yeah, Michael Lenny goes forward. Dawson's there. Big fist is going to bounce or wobble. Finlayson sees it over the line.
They'll probably play deliberate.
Yep,
Yeah!
I knew it.
Good on you, Quiff. Timmy G's going to run down and squiff your Quiff, you Quiffhead.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Could have been 2 or 3.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
Oh, I cannot believe
Somebody upstairs told him again to pay it.
Well, he hesitated and then he did it. It was like, I don't know. I don't get it.
Rankin all day long. Wobbles this one poorly, but it went straight through and bowled Lockie Jones, which allows the Crows to keep it in play. It's going over the back. It's nearly a mark, is it? Just rushed through, luckily, by Burgoyne. They're all over Port Adelaide in this last term. 13-10-88 will play 10-6-66. It will be, it is, 22-point margin. Well, we said difference home improvement scoreboard.
Yeah, well, you said, Timmy, around the momentum. The momentum's now shifted to Adelaide. Once again, around the contest. Once again, around the uncontested possession and the mark. So whichever team's having their way in that couple of stats is actually hitting the scoreboard, and it's Adelaide's turn right now.
Miller gave it to Dawson. Dawson goes forward. Gee, he got pushed out of it, Thorp. Great little crumb in the end there by Saligo. Ollie winds back to Sin. Sin goes forward. Miller again couldn't quite get it. Give on the up Moraes, gave it off to the running Richards, who goes to the outside. And numbers with Adelaide, they've zoned off brilliantly. Keane's got it, can handball back, and away go the Crows again.
High kick towards half forward. Rozee in front, punched away from him over the boundary line. It goes.
He's probably done a reasonable job, Taylor,
Well,
hasn't he?
He's had 6 since he's been on him. So he's had 21 at half time, so you can say that he has done a pretty good job.
53,117. That is a great crowd. That is a great crowd. Crows by 22.
That's the big difference. Home improvement scoreboard as they get settled for another stoppage. Visentini's back on. Handball missed its target. Port just missed those 1 or 2, don't they? Butters takes off. He gives off the handball. Back inside to Rozee. Rozee now longer one over to Burgoyne. Burgoyne.
Need a forward coming at him.
They need somebody coming at them. They need to mark a ball. It's just a high kick. It's not what they want. Front and centre. Gets thrown out. Richards is trying to pick it up. He gets it back to Georgiades, who goes short. Finds Lord.
Good vision.
It's a forward to hit a forward.
I'd like to know the meterage.
Yeah.
That would have been right on the limit, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not there. But Butters' work off half-back. Just backs himself in.
I tell you what, I know you can't say much and you're on the board, but I tell you what, you'd need to throw everything bar the kitchen sink.
I think you have, haven't you?
Wow. He's just he's a unicorn in the game with what he's able to do.
Well, there's 12 minutes left in the contest, and this is an important kick to say the least. Ollie Lord, he's missed it by a mile, and then there's 2-on-1 with Georgiades. Nobody on the line, nobody can compete. Keane takes an easy mark in the back pocket.
Well, there's plenty of time. 12 minutes left on that clock. Keane comes up.
Yeah, but you got to kick those
Vicentini's
goals.
under. Well, yeah, you do. Riley O'Brien was great. Peatling's been solid. Big tackle from the skipper, Connor Rozee, and that was on Rankin. And there'll be a ball up on that left-hand half-forward flank. Crows by 22. Umpy throws it up. Vicentini and Riley O'Brien. Good work by Nankervis. On the outside, Peatling. Peatling now pulls that kick, and it's just going to bounce over the line. And no, it's not deliberate. And they'll throw the ball in on this swing. 13-10-88 Adelaide. I said, can Port keep the Crows under 100 points? Well, they're 12 shy. That was the big question before this game.
Thrown in centre wing. Members side. O'Brien gets the tap down, but wobbling towards the boundary line. Don't touch it, Jason. It'll be deliberate. Berry tried to get out of the tackle. He's gone. Holding the ball by Bergman. That's TJM. Tough tackle of the night. Roll.
He's been one of your best.
They got an extra back there, Treaders. They got to try and pierce their way through here with their extra.
So Bergman goes deep with the kick. Who's going to hit the ball? There's a lot of players around at ground level. Laird tried to dish it out. Good tackle by Burgoyne. Just wrapped up coming and he couldn't get out of that. So on the 50-metre arc, it'll be a ball up. It's Crows by 22. Big difference. Home improvement scoreboard.
Yeah, CLK legal. Michael Lenny got up very gingerly. We'll go to our boundary rider shortly. In the traffic now. Cummings tries to get it. Horn Francis. He's like a bulldozer. Miller had grabbed him. No free kick. He just sees ball, gets ball, and just takes off. Great tackle in the end. Riley O'Brien, Vicentini. Vicentini won it. Ollie Wines back to Vicentini. Tried to slap it. There he goes again. Richards gets the ball up in the air. Big fist by Keane.
Free kick.
And there's a free kick off the ball to Butts, and Butts will get it. Going their way at the moment, the Crows, in the fullback position, and they lead by 22 points.
Where was the free kick?
for?
He grabbed him because Butts had front position on him, so he grabbed him to try and get in front.
Butts kicks a long ball, punched away by Jones towards the boundary line. Don't touch it, Burgess. Gee whiz. The risk of that being deliberate is so high. Unbelievable tonight. Silly stuff. Doesn't need to be paid. Should be a throw in. Allow the contest to go on.
Plenty of time, fellas. Plenty of time.
O'Brien versus Zantini. Just goes over the back of both ruckmen. Trying to spit it out. Horn Francis looking for a lead-up player. It's difficult. Port Adelaide's forward line. Not a lot in it. Bergman dodged 1-2, but got tackled as he handled over the boundary line. And it'll be a throw-in. 55 around from Port Adelaide's goal. 22-point leaders are the Adelaide Crows on the Big Difference home improvement scoreboard.
Yeah, there's a hush on the crowd, isn't there? There's a bit of a... They don't know what to think. They need the crowd to get in behind Port Adelaide here because there's still plenty of time.
We'd like a score.
Here we go. Bergman, long with that right leg. God, he's kicked that 70 metres. Wow. Did that go through? No, through for a point. Wow. God, he's got some weapons, that lad.
Oh, yeah, he can play.
10-7 to 13-10, cut the margin to 21 points. That's on the cheapest chips. No, it's not. The Big Difference home improvement scoreboard.
Worrell to bring it back in.
He's had another big game.
That's a poor kick, though.
It's out the full.
Yeah, a full indeed, but that'll allow Burgoyne to bring it back in just short. Finds a lead up on Moraes.
Get back. He can drop it in straight in front of Georgiades.
Yeah, he's just taking a little long. He's not going to get a player come at you. So he does put it to the square. Lord goes up high. It's punched away, front and centre. Stolen by Drew, and he snapped, but it's going to miss everything. And it stays in, did it? Or it hit the post?
Hit the post.
Hit the post, so it'll be out of bounds on the full. And it'll be brought back in, I think, by Laird or Keys. Keys it is.
Gee, the air's gone out of the game, isn't it?
Well, Port, to be honest, Rowie, they've had 10 inside 50s for our insurance, but they just haven't been able to get any score on the board.
Look at the way they go in.
How many marks have they had inside 50? Remember we said the Crows average
for the game
and a half again, just for the game today.
Well, they had 7 for the first half.
Okay, well, what happened there? The ball's got to come back. Oh, did they have 7 in the first half?
Yeah.
Good stat, our insurance. So going to come back to Darcy Fogarty, who's been solid.
Port
had a really
12.
good deal with Radicale, hadn't he?
12 inside 50.
12
apiece.
Inside 50.
12 apiece.
12 apiece. Yep. Well, there you go. That is a great stat. 67 to 88, margin 21. Darcy Fogarty, Borks, goes on his left, and that's a stinky bum because the mark's been taken by this bloke who's doing it at both ends, and his name is Miles Bergman. Give that him again, real estate mark of the day, I reckon.
Why not? Miles Bergman kicks a ball looking for a lead player, and it's going to be Georgiades coming at it. He marks the ball and drops it inside 50 to find Horn Francis.
His power off 2 steps. Wayne Miller is no slouch with his speed, and he just accelerated and put 2 metres on him.
He kicks this game on.
Well, I think for the game's sake, it needs the spark for Port Adelaide fans. Crows kick the first 3 and just silence the crowd.
Doesn't have to over-kick it. This is what happens with some of these powerful guys. They think they have to kick it hard. It's just timing from here for him.
Let's see what Jason Horn-Francis can do from 50. He launches at it and he goes off to the right. And so it's an anti-climax. 10-8, 68. Port Adelaide trail by 20 points. 13-10, 88. And that's a big difference. Home improvement scoreboard.
Key disposal winners. Key disposal winners. 31 touches for Rozee, Butters 30, and for the Crows, Peatling 23, Worrell 21 for RAA Insurance.
Little chip short by Keane to Hinge.
They've done well, Adelaide, to be honest, because their midfield hasn't touched it.
Yeah.
He comes up, looks for Fogarty. Oh, good courage by Burgoyne. Fogarty bearing down on him. Behind him also was Cummings. And Burgoyne got a little fist up. Connor Rozee says, I like that a lot. Bergman comes off because Jordan Dawson's coming off.
Well, Dawson's had 14, Saligo 15, and Rankin, who was largely unsighted, has had 16. That was before this term where he's lit it alight.
Yeah. Well done to Ollie Wines. Read that brilliantly. Saligo was behind his man. He can never do that. Big fist by Worrell. Crumbing out the back was Richards. Tried to get his hands free. Big tackle on Mead. Mead back to Richards. Richards on his left shoe. Touched by Worrell. Now, the umpire doesn't know. Worrell says, I definitely touched it, and I reckon he's pretty honest.
I don't reckon he did. I reckon there was a bit of gap, air between it.
Soft call touched.
Was it?
Okay. So it needs to be conclusive.
Gee, it looks like fresh air.
It does on that one.
He instantly
I
put
want to
his
see the
hand up.
side on one. That's hard to see from that one.
It is, isn't it?
So if the umpire called touched, and it's inconclusive,
it's touched.
It's touched.
They
It's
go
got
to
to
the
be
soft
clear.
call.
Okay, so they're going to go to the side. How far away is that footage? Why can't they get cameras a bit closer? Well, it's
they've gone
behind.
early.
Wow,
Went
from that
early.
vision.
Wow.
Well, I think they went on Worrell. I touched it.
If you need to show another angle, don't you?
What we asking players honesty now, are we?
Here we are, 69 to 88. Crows by 19 points.
Miller brings the ball back into play. O'Brien nearly. Round level, it's kicked. Got through the gap to Taylor. Taylor now can't believe his luck. Switches the play to the wing. Peatling's there.
Had nothing to kick to and went sideways.
Well, Peatling kicked it into the man on the mark. That was bad. Burgoyne nearly lost it. Got it to Wines, who tries to get off. That's holding the ball, Ollie. Cumming got him cold.
Big tackle.
It's a TJM tough tackle. Centre wing, Cumming will take the free kick.
I reckon if Crows get the next goal, good night. If Port get the next one, game on. Very important part of the game now. Plenty of time still, 7 minutes. Fogarty got caught without it. Big fist from behind. It's gone out of bounds between half-forward and wing on this near side. 13-10-88 to 10-9-69. This last 5, 6, 7 minutes has been weird. Real weird, hasn't it?
Well, no one's kicked a goal, that's why.
Fair call.
Port fans are hoping that their team can get one, but Adelaide's just held in long enough, particularly with under siege in defence.
Keys, quick boot into the forward 50, punched away from Walker at ground level. Drew's trying to keep the locks on. He does well there. It's a tackle wrapped up just on the 50 arc. It'll be a ball up. Adelaide Crows by 19 points. And the...
What does that sign mean? A T with an arm with a big muscle?
Well, there could be something on the other side, Rowie, because you're only seeing it on one side. Normally there's, one on one side and one on the other.
Big tackle by Taylor Walker. Did the ruck work inside 50. We'll get all those stats for RAA Insurance. Another ball up. Crows by 19. Time is ticking away for Port Adelaide. Vicentini, well done, Drew. Got the ball forward.
There.
Miller just zoned off his man well and took the mark. Didn't get called for... Miller's kick was awful.
It's got to hold it. Oh, no.
So is that Sin? Gets the ball up to Georgiades. He'll have a shot at goal. Steps inside. Brilliant play. Goal!
No, missed it by miles.
He's missed.
Just handball it back to Moraes.
Oh, man, that was just putrid.
All he had to do was handball it back to him.
I was wondering what Worrell was doing.
What an awful kick by Miller.
He was goalkeeping.
They tried to bring you back into it, boys, but you haven't got the skill level to take advantage.
Let him kick.
So he kicks. Butters will punch. This kick is out of bounds on the full, is it? No, it goes out of bounds. Has to
deliberate.
They paid one.
If they didn't play
It was a miss kick.
he would have jumped.
That was a miss kick.
I'm not sure
That was a miss kick.
I'm not sure he meant it to go there. That was a shank.
That is embarrassing, umpire. You know he can't kick.
Aaliyah will take the re-entry from centre wing.
I thought you were back on him.
Just kicks a high ball. Up they go, punched away. Goes through the hands. Coming out at Sin. Trying to push it forward. Scramble for this one. Not many people can get hold of it. Port Adelaide are running out of time. There's 5.5 minutes left on the Zambrero clock. And it's the Crows by 18 points.
Big man go at it. On the ground again was Butters, has been superb. Sin kicked around his body. That's a really good mark in the end. I reckon that's by Taylor.
Yep.
He has done a really good job on the skipper, Connor Rozee. 21 at half-time he had. Taylor now keeping his spot, comes out this near side. Thorp flew, so too did Riley O'Brien. Crumbed it, slapped it forward. Saligo got rock and roll. Can he get his arms free? No, he can't. Umpire should play hold the ball. Had to. Ball jarred out, dived back onto it, grabbed it, and Burton's got the free kick for a TJM tough tackle. No, Bergman has got it. Centre wing grandstand side. Crows by 18. Big difference, home improvement scoreboard.
Miles Bergman puts a deep kick in. This is typical Port Adelaide, though. It's pretty scrappy and ugly.
It was a throw.
And who's it going to? Port's
way.
And who's going to take it?
I reckon
it'll be Byrne-Jones.
Led to the backhand throw.
Yeah. It's a little scoopy scoop.
Yep, that's a throw.
There it is. And Byrne-Jones, well, he's on a 45-degree angle. He kicked from 45 metres. If he keeps his body straight in line, he's normally a reasonable kick. But Port Adelaide need a goal. That is an understatement. He comes in, he kicks that goal, and it holds its line, and he kicks it. Darcy Byrne-Jones keeps the pilot light alight. So congratulations to him. Port Adelaide, their first goal in the last term. 11-10-76, trail the Crows, 13-10-88. That's his second. And the big difference, home improvement scoreboard, is 12 points the difference.
Well, he's had an exceptional game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's been really important to Port in the front half. But for RA Insurance, Port Adelaide, 17 inside 50s for 1 goal for.
Wow.
They just haven't been able to...
Horrible.
Get reward for their effort.
A lot of repeat.
Yeah, there's a lot of repeat, but a lot of half marks by Adelaide inside their forward 50. Adelaide on the flip side have had 8 for 3 goals too. That's the difference in the game at this point in time.
Well, 12 points to margin, plenty of time here. The Port Adelaide fans need to start the chant they have right on cue. 13-10-88 to 11-10-76. 2 straight goals. Big centre square clearance, because when you get it down to 1 goal, anything can happen. Riley O'Brien, good work by Berry. Socket off the ground, comes out this near side. It's a foot race in 2. Burgoyne was terrific. Took the legs out of Alex Neil-Bullen, wrapped up on the wing, and there'll be a ball up.
By the letter of the law, that's a free kick against Port Adelaide. But I love the umpire making the smart, because that's the lower leg contact.
Yeah, but he got to the ball first.
No, I know that, but that's smart umpiring.
Wines picks up the crumb, goes off to Butters in close. That was awesome. Got the handball out to Bergman. Bergman goes deep with the kick. Finlayson, can he mark it? No, he got a hand to it. And then it's going to be just allowed to go over the line.
They're coming, Port.
Hinge has got the re-entry. He plays on quickly. He goes long. Wines is going to make a contest. Out the back it went, though. Saligo, little dribble kick towards Fogarty. Good pressure by Ratagalia. He should get over the boundary line. And he does through the centre. Interchange gates, 11 points the difference.
Well, they've evened up all the numbers around the contest, that, the ground ball, scramble, all those things. The only thing they're probably really getting some field position off is clearance. 15-7 in favour of Port.
11 points the margin. Vicentini, Horne-Francis coming through as Worrell gets his arms free. Oh,
good
big hit on Saligo. That was massive. Bergman's had a massive last 5 minutes. Comes to the half-forward flank.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he flew up high. That's high. Free kick for in the back.
Unrealistic attempt.
It was, and I reckon it's going to come to Worrell, is it? No. Who's the free kick? The Keane. No, Jordan Bunce. Left-hand half-back flank.
Looks like Rosee's either gone the midfield or gone forward.
Yeah, Saligo's come off thanks to CLK Legal. He looks very, very sure. 3 minutes of play left, plenty of time. Oh, Fogarty flew. Burgoyne crumbed it. Kicked forward. 11 points the margin. Laird's there. Oh, that's a great mark by Taylor. Did he mark that? No, he didn't.
Stoppage.
So it's centre-half forward. Port Adelaide are pressing and pressing and pressing. 11 points the margin, Timmy.
Thrown up. Horne-Francis takes it. He's tackled by 2. Spat it out the back. Wines goes in hard. Dug it out to Bergman. Bergman, a big high kick. It's going to beat all players and just stay inside the boundary line. Left forward pocket. It will be thrown in.
He's had a big last quarter,
2
Bergman.
minutes,
He's had
22
He's had 9 touches. Ollie Wines has had 12. I love what Rosie's doing. He's taken the youngster to defend. He's taken him to full forward. He's going to drag him now up into the stoppage, and he's almost trying to go to that extra play to be another offensive weapon for Port.
11 points
There
the
he is.
margin.
There's the
Here
skipper.
he is, the skipper.
No.
He had almost the game on his boot. Read that brilliantly. He's a star. And it went across the face and through for a point. Cuts the margin of 10. They are pressing and pressing and pressing. 2 minutes left.
Gee, Rowie, little Taylor would have been tightening up a little then.
Well, I'm in squeaky bum time now. Don't worry about that.
Coming to bring the ball back into play. He kicks it long. Just punch forward. Richards, handball out. Wines. Out the back it goes to Burgoyne. On his left. Hooks it around. Moraes nearly. Couldn't take the mark. At ground level, they're scrambling for it. Somebody's picked it up and kicked the goal!
Finlayson.
Miracle stuff by Finlayson. Jeremy Finlayson take a bow. That was incredible. With a minute 50 left on the clock. He's kicked 3. And Port Adelaide somehow are still in the game.
Wow.
12-12, 84 to 13-10, 88.
Well, the damn wall breaks, as you know, guys, when you watch games of footy. 20 inside 50s FIVEAA insurance to 8 for 2 goals, 6. It's just been an avalanche of Port inside repeat entries. They've got the game back on their terms around the contest. They just keep pressing. So this midfield battle now is pivotal. Need your best centre bounce players right in here right now with a minute 47 to go.
Porter got Bergman outstanding, Butters outstanding, and Ollie Wines outstanding. Dawson's in there. So too Peatling.
And Berry.
So still a lot of football left, a minute and a half. The margin's 5. This is a massive, massive centre square clearance. Up they go. Riley O'Brien taps it out. Bergman almost got it. Charging through was Peatling. Riley O'Brien gets back on it. Here comes Horn Francis. Goes around, takes a bounce, arches his back, goes long into the forward 50. Big mark needed. Finlayson.
Oh, that's a great mark.
Has taken the best mark of his career.
That is
Went
exceptional.
back with the flight of the ball and has taken a rip snorter.
Well, 1:23 on the clock and a man up the spare man.
Takeen kicks it out wide. Jones wants to get a fist onto it. This is an important ball to win. They're wrapped up in a tackle, can't get out of it.
What a mark.
So it'll be a ball up, centre wing out of side.
For the mark, but just from the wrong team.
70 seconds left on the clock. It's been an interesting duel. Out it goes to the boundary line. Tried to keep it in. Couldn't do so. I think it's out of bounds. Free kick to Butters. Free kick to Butters. Long way away from goal, though.
Oh, Powell-Pepper's just
puts it in short. Finds Burton. Burton's got the ball. He's a long way out. 55 seconds left. He kicks it deep in there. It's a crowded forward line. Too easy, Riley O'Brien.
Had to bring that to ground.
Had to bring that to ground. That's poor.
It's a poor kick.
Riley O'Brien has got to agree.
It's a poor kick.
Could he handball to someone, please? He does. To Worrell. Worrell goes long, outside, still plenty of time. Thorp hasn't taken a mark this last quarter. Ends up with Rankin. Rankin and Alex Steelball and kick it. Bouncing and wobbling to that outer side wing. A foot race in 2. Isaac Rankin pushed him in the back. And there's a throw in.
Let's have a look at that on the replay.
Well,
10 seconds left, Timmy. Bring it home.
They've played worse than that tonight.
I'm not doing that.
13-10-88 to 12-12-84. Timmy is not bringing it home. So on the outer side wing, 17 seconds on the clock. Big stoppage this one. Riley O'Brien goes with this Vicentini. Oh, gee, it went through Ollie Wines' hands. Charging through is Berry. Has a bounce. Berry has a second bounce. Comes inside 50. Has a shot at goal. He's knocked it over. Yes! Oh, he's kicked the point. The margin is 6. 5. Oh, no, there's the siren. Showdown 57 has been won by the Crows by 5 points. 13-11-89 to 12-12-84. A classical showdown. Port Adelaide just gave their absolute best. And in the end, not quite good enough with all the stars they had. We'll take your calls. We'll do all the awards. 8223-0000. What a game.
Crazy. That last quarter. It's probably, to be fair, one that got away from Port. If you know, without an unbiased view, they actually dominated the last quarter. Some of these numbers: 40-36 contested possession, 32-27 on the ground ball. They dominated. Clearance 21-7. Timmy and Treaders. That's just huge
Massive numbers. Massive.
And that resulted in 22 inside 50s in a quarter, and they kicked 2 goals, 6. They just couldn't capitalise or connect inside forward 50.
That is so disappointing, isn't it?
It was a great match. Anyway, it was an arm wrestle the whole way through, but Port's midfield, that was the difference. They were able to get control of it through the middle of the ground. But take your hat off. Port, I thought they were outstanding.
They were, but Adelaide found a way to win.
Yep.
Didn't they? Like, you look at your midfield, you don't get much out of Dawson, who Bergman, I thought, totally dominated. Saligo was okay without being great. You go, who else was in there? Rankin had no influence in the game until three-quarter time. He copped the acid, and even I reckon he might have copped it at halftime because you would have seen Matthew Nix's reaction to the 50 he gave away. But he kicks 2 telling goals early in the last quarter, which was the difference in the match. You know, and for Adelaide, they sit back and go, did we dodge a bullet? Well, they got the result. It doesn't matter. They win the 4 points. And for Port, you go, it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, no, and as you say, the midfield, Peatling was probably the only one that really fired. He had the 24 disposals, 11 contested, 12 tackles, so he was the one that tried to do his bit with on Zach Butters, but Zach just took control pretty much after quarter time. He was outstanding. 33 disposals, 16 contested possessions, 10 clearances he had. He was amazing through the middle of the ground. He just makes you miss and he causes that overlap.
Well, for those of you that have just tuned in, and I'm sure there's plenty, it was a 5-point result. 12-12-84, Port Adelaide. Adelaide Crows 13-11-89. And we'll go down shortly the showdown medal presentation on the ground.
Who are you giving it to?
Jeez, it'd either be...
Well, it has to be a Port player.
Yeah, well, even though Adelaide win, for me, it's either Bergman or Rozee for me would be the two, with Zach Butters around the mark as well.
I think you'd flip any of those guys. And I thought Adelaide's best when the game was there early was Thorp was the most dominant player in the ground.
Well, I think he ended up with 10 marks, 11 marks for the game. Last time I had a look.
I thought Worrell held you together.
Oh, he was good.
Yeah, he was good. Phil Thorp, 10 marks, 5 contested.
I think Connor Rozee will get it. And we love your calls too. 8223 0000 13 11 89. The question before the game was, can Port keep the Crows under 104 points, which is their average? Well, they did, but they didn't quite get the chocolates. 12-12-84. Their want, their will, their desire, their crack, the one-on-ones, the scramble football, they were outstanding. They had an absolute crack. And with all that footy in that last quarter inside 50, they just lacked a little bit of class. And dare I say, that little bit of class could have been a bloke by the name of Willie Rioli.
Yeah, well.
That was what you lacked in that forward 50, that little crafty small forward that you don't have a match-up for. But the fat lady sung, have you say.
Geez, I've never seen a game where you lose and you get 56 clearances to 29.
That's amazing.
Well,
that's amazing.
Well, it said something about how ineffective you are into 50. We are very ineffective inside
and have
50.
been for some years, haven't you?
Correct. No doubt about that. As they await the presentations, I'm not sure what they're waiting.
Oh, let's take a couple of calls. Let's go to Modbury Heights. Hello, George.
Yeah, bigger body. I was very surprised with that.
Bigger bodies, you're saying?
Hello?
Yeah, George, you're
George, you're on, mate.
Oh, how you going, guys?
Good, buddy. What do you think?
Am I on the radio?
Yes, you are, buddy.
Yeah, you rung it.
All right. Great game. I love the fact that my team actually put in an effort. I'm very proud of them, and they did an excellent job. And Timmy G, God, we love you, God. You're an unbelievable man. Rowie, you're a good man too, but we love Timmy.
Oh, you can love him. I think most do. Well done, George. Hello there, Matty from the Gold Coast.
How you doing, Rowie?
Hang on, Matty. Take a breather. We're going to go down to the boundary line for the awards. Just wait 1 sec, Matty.
Tonight's voting of the Showdown Medal has been carried out by a panel of industry experts. I'd now like to invite Miliana, who is a variety grandchild, to present the Showdown Medal awarded to the best player on the field. And the winner of the Showdown Medal from the Port Adelaide Football Club, Connor Rozee.
Had to be. His first half was outstanding.
Yeah.
And look, when there's a margin of only 5 points, it can go either way.
Correct.
You happy with that, Campo?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No question. Well, yeah, I think the three best players on the ground were those three that we mentioned, Bergman, Rozee and Butters. And then, as you said, Timmy, I think Worrell and Philphilp were probably the two Adelaide. That would be the top five for me.
Support, it goes a long way. And to the Crows, yeah, great game. And thanks to everyone to keep turning up. We'll be back here and find it out for the rest of the season. So thanks.
Yeah, you will. 53,000 here today. It was a massive crowd.
Congratulations and thank you very much to Miliana. I would now like to invite Variety Chairperson Sally Pike to present the Variety Showdown Shield to Jordan Dawson of the Adelaide Football Club and the Adelaide Crows.
Well, he did a number on him, Bergman, didn't he?
Did.
BOG last week, 10 coaches' votes, leading the Coaches' Award, and then had his colours lowered by a bloke that just, as you said, Timmy, can play in every quarter.
Just want to say thanks to Port Adelaide. Always a great battle against you guys, and we highly respect you guys. To our fans who showed up on the away showdown, unbelievable atmosphere out here, and we love having you guys here. To Variety, thank you for sponsoring the event. As always, such a great cause, and we love playing for you guys. And to our boys, awesome win. Good stuff.
Well done, Jordan Dawson, the skipper. 13-11-89. The Crows to 12-12-84. A classical showdown by 5 points. We're going to take your calls, do all the awards with Treaders and Campo. Let's go back to the Gold Coast. Hello, Matty.
G'day, guys. How you going?
You're on.
I feel like it's not it's a loss, but I'm just so not disappointed like I usually am. I feel I can take a lot of positives from this for the future, for the rest of the games. Yeah, everyone tipped us to be smashed. I heard you throughout the week, Rowie. You know, this is a 5-point margin. You did not think, you truly didn't think with loss of Rioli, that was going to be the margin. So I'm just so proud of the boys, despite the loss. The thing is, there's a lot of times when we win games like this, and I just hear so much praise from the opposition, that it's just nice that there's a balance, and even you guys are respecting how well Port played in good times, because, yeah, there's a loss, because Adelaide are brilliant this year, just cruising along, and they got scared, and they'll learn from it. I think Adelaide will get better from this loss, to be honest, which is frustrating, but hopefully Port can also gain some strength and get some wins on the back of the confidence from this game, because these games are more like finals, boys.
Well, Port Adelaide brought their absolute best endeavour, and as Timmy said in the lead up to it, when there's a ball in the middle, there's a Port player and a Crows player. I want the Port player to win it. The scramble ball, the 50-50 ball, the outnumbering it, when there was a skirmish, Timmy, Port won them.
Oh, they had
their
a dip.
1%ers. They had a
red hot dip.
They had a red hot dip.
And
that's what you asked.
Just highlighted the efficiency of the two sides, I thought.
Yeah, spot on. Let's go to Blackwood. Hello, Adam.
Yeah, well done to Connor Rozee. Thought he was outstanding tonight. Brilliant.
Wasn't he?
Great leadership. Couple of things. Borderline for Port Adelaide. Pretty ordinary. I'm not blaming Mitch Georgiades, but, we're in efficiency was just shocking at periods of that game. Crucial times when we had a little bit more composure, but not only composure, but there had to be a sense of a game plan. I just thought when we took the ball closer to the 50 line, we just seemed to be confused, disjointed, all sorts of stuff there. The other thing too, about time the AFL, with all the rubbish and all the mistakes and incompetency that they continue to throw at this game, about time that this game, showdown, Port Adelaide versus the Crows, next year, standalone, Friday night game, Adelaide Oval, and I hope you guys can just point the finger to the AFL and all those other Victorians over there. It's not all about them. It's not AFL. It's AFL, not VFL. And you saw tonight what a contest it was. Put that on the big stage, Friday night football. It's about bloody time. We need Friday night football showdowns. If it's a national game, that's what we need.
Yeah, Adam, I think they've had one. I think the Crows had a Friday night showdown. This is Saturday night, which is also standalone. It was a national TV audience. I don't think you'd be terribly disappointed with that. 53,000 were here, and a cracking game. 84 plays, 89. What was that? A margin of 5 points. Crows were out there in the middle of the ground getting a photo for the fans with the cup or the shield. How Have your say. Let's go to Highbury. Hello, Michael.
Yeah, guys, mate, I think it was a great game. Probably one of the better games that Port Adelaide have played. But I'll give you the big tip. This game is going nowhere because of the umpiring. Like, Connor Rozee got done for deliberately out of bounds, and there was a couple of occasions, and you can't even deny this, Roy, because you're at one eye across, and there was no free kick. Why don't they please? Because these umpires have got no idea on deliberate out of bounds. They are a joke, and they are ruining this game.
Yeah. I'm not going to defend them. Timmy's been saying for years, just make the rule like the Samford.
Yeah.
Last disposal, handball or kick is out of bounds. I'll say this again. In the last quarter, and we thought it might happen, and Campo called it. It wasn't Rankin's day, but he did have 2 moments, and he kicked 2 goals from, 6 inside 50s. Port Adelaide have 20 inside 50s in that last quarter. There is no doubt they missed Willie Rioli. You missed that crafty, brilliant goal-kicking sneak that he is. And, you think if the week had played out differently, he probably would have still been in the team.
Well, the other thing too, I just had a quick look while you guys were talking to some supporters out there. So you talk about that though, Rowie, but essentially it came down to probably 2 things. So Adelaide, they kicked 8 goals, 2 from marks. So both teams had 12-13. So Port had 1 more mark inside forward 50. They kicked 3 goals, 5, right? So 8 goals, 2 to 3 goals, 5 from a mark. From a set shot point of view, Adelaide kicked 9-2, Port Adelaide 6-6. So Adelaide took their chances and connected a little bit better. Yep. And the other thing too, and we've highlighted this on Tuesday, guys, around the 0 to 30, how important it is to get the ball inside that area. Adelaide kicked 6 goals, 3, Port 3 goals, 4. So your ability to get it into that area there, not only mark it, but then have the ability to hit the scoreboard from a set shot is really important, because that just takes the win out of the sail. They're 3 really important numbers.
Okay, let's go down to the rooms. Yeah, well, that was sung with gusto. We'll go down the rooms. We'll talk to a Port player, a Crows player. We'll do all the awards. This is after the game. If you've got a leaky roof, Total Roof Restoration, do it right with Right Price Roofing. Taking your calls. We'll do the injury report thanks to CLK Legal. Let's go to Woodville. Hello, Gary.
Hey, fellas. I'm a Crows supporter, and you take the 4 points and you move on. But who's the Crows tackling coach? Tonight, I know there's a lot of pressure out there, and in the FIVEAA game a couple of weeks ago, we'd get close and they'd just sort of brush us off. I just thought that was really, really poor tonight, the Crows tackling. And if you look at the game, Port Adelaide had most of the better players on the ground. We won, yeah, that's great, but sort of glosses over, some of the things that we're not quite right with the Crows game. And if they're going to be a contender, these are the things they need to sharpen up on. What are your thoughts?
Well, what was the tackle?
Well, Adelaide had 21 more tackles. It's the broken ones that allow. I think what you're trying to get to is the ones that Butters and Horne-Francis just accelerate through and they just fend off and get through. I think Adelaide's a reasonably good tackling team in terms of their pressure, but it's those really important ones where they just don't nail those guys and they get goal side and that causes overlap. So it's not a numbers thing, it's probably the effectiveness of those ones as well that you miss.
They were very poor against Fremantle, I'll give you that. Let's go to Marion. Sam.
Timmy, I'm disgusted. We've got too many passengers. Why was McAtee in that side for what role? Jackson Mead can't get a kick. How many turnovers did Adelaide get from our goals? And our set shots have been woeful ever since Scotty Hodges left. I love Finlayson, but that number 11 should be banned from the club. You gave it to John Butcher. You said he couldn't kick. I'll tell you what, he's a much better kick than half of them people in that side, Timmy Geneva. And Stephen Rowe, you can laugh now, but you'll get yours at the end, mate. You'll get yours at the end. It's not a threat, but you'll get yours and your club will get yours. Go Port.
Oh, well, good on you, Sam. You sorry loser.
Look, I must...
What will I get? What was he getting at?
I don't know.
And are you going to defend Finn Langston? I thought that was one of his better games.
I thought it was one of his better games.
Yep.
He competed well. He kicked 3. The thing about the McEntee one, I actually said it on Friday, Rowie, Thursday when the selection came out.
Yep.
I was obviously shocked at the Sweet one, but the McEntee one, I thought to myself, they must be bringing him for a role. I didn't see that tonight. I didn't see him actually playing a role as in, you know, being a defensive forward or anything like that. So I was a bit confused as to why he came in.
I didn't think he was bad. Like, in the second quarter, I thought the pressure from the smalls, and he's not a big... He's not a big possession player, but you
can't be in the side just to tackle. You can't be in the side just to tackle.
Every team has them, though,
You have
Tim.
to be able to.
Every team in the AFL
does them.
All right.
Because you cover them for blokes who don't do it.
We're going down in the rooms. Apparently, we've got Darcy Fogarty.
Yes, thanks, boys. We're down in the Crows room, Showdown 57 winners. Darcy Fogarty joins me now. Port were coming back in that third quarter. How'd you get together as a team to stop their momentum?
Yeah, no, they definitely came in the end. And, got a little bit scary. They were able to get a bit of movement and get some free-flowing footy happening late, which is not ideal. But, I think we needed to be a little bit better late in the game of stopping their flow, sort of controlling the ball. And I think we got a little bit lucky at the end. We were able to sort of get Keeney and Birdo to take some really important marks late that saved us.
Yeah, Fog Campo up here, mate. Congratulations. It was a bloody good game to watch. It was a real arm wrestle, as they always are. Once again, you just got your colours lowered through the midfield, particularly around clearance. We probably thought that might have been, particularly after last week, what you did to Carlton and their midfield. Probably just didn't go your way tonight.
Yeah, they were really strong in there as well. They're really a really powerful midfield. They've got some real weapons in there. But, obviously we've got to be better. We've got to stem the flow a little bit and keep fighting. But at the end of the day, we can get up there as forwards and help out. We can tighten up as backs and really sort of make it an arm wrestle outside of the stoppage. But, we can do things, but we need to get better in the stoppage as well, mind you. We need to keep it in tight and play to our strengths a little bit.
Yeah, well, the end result, 62 inside 50 support. The backs probably put a crash helmet on, to be fair. And it was lucky with a little bit of inefficiency from Port. But Isaac Rankin didn't have his best night, but, geez, he just, at the crucial stage late in the game, kicks 2 really important ones.
Yeah, 100%, and that's the thing with Ranks. He always has moments, which is massive for us, and he's such a big team lifter. Like you said, he might not have been as impactful tonight, but he still kicked 2 of the most important goals for the game, and that sort of lifted the team, got us back on track, got us settled, he was a real pivotal part of tonight. He keeps fighting, and it's a real credit to him, and that's why he's such a good player.
Darcy, Warren Treadray, mate, congratulations, good performance. I want to get in the mindset of the forwards. Early days, it looked like it was a bit of free footy, contested marking, plenty of opportunities, and then it turned pretty greasy by the looks, and it just turned into a scrap, be in front. How did you see the mindset have to shift throughout the game?
Yeah, I think, early days we were getting the looks, especially with Filthy. He was marking everything. Tex, towards the second half of that second quarter, was marking everything. So we're getting really good options. But like you said, it did get a little bit greasy. The ball got dewy, and we just sort of had to turn it into a surge game. So we sort of adapted. We knew it was going to be a bit of a dogfight. We just sort of wanted to get field position and sort of go from there. We just wanted to win half as keys and sort of try and get as much of a contest as we could.
There was an interesting dynamic. Obviously, Bergman goes to your skipper and Dawson, which then puts Lockie Jones as that third defender. There were times you tried to isolate him. Was that the plan, to try and isolate him deeper in the goal square like we saw with great effect this time last year in the first showdown?
I think we wanted to get isolation as keys just in general. We wanted to sort of... play with a little bit more space. We didn't want to be competing against each other, which maybe we've done a couple of times in the last couple of weeks. We wanted to get some space so we could sort of work, but then obviously once the ball slows, we want to be able to get back together and sort of help each other out. But it wasn't a real focus to get him down there. It was just sort of who was the deepest was going to sort of get a bit more space.
With about 1 minute and 13 seconds on the clock, Fog, the ball went forward from Jason Horne-Francis. Back with the flight of the ball went Mark Keane, and it was a little bit of a Leo Barry, you star moment.